we're here at Monaco. Well, Monaco for round 3. This is going to be a absolutely spectacular race. Apologies, we're a bit late. 9 minutes late to be precise, because yeah, I didn't know what I was doing with the session. And it's very dangerous for me to set up any session, so this could go completely wrong. And if it does, then you know I'll be nowhere to be seen. That's all I can say. And and yeah, we'll be getting going right now. I'm just seeing because I think Twan wanted to come to the oh, we got a bit of rain on the right side. I don't think that was me. I hope it wasn't me. So this is going to be absolutely fantastic, isn't it? And we'll be getting ready in just a few moments. Then we are 10 seconds into this session, and that is a lot of rain on the horizon there. And I got to say, I do love it to be a bit spicy, don't I? So yeah, this is obviously all within the script as well. That's a lot of rain now. So this is absolutely appalling weather, isn't it, for the Monaco Grand Prix? We're used to seeing like a lovely bright sunshine, but this is anything but at the moment, isn't it? As a lag is retired from the session, of course, that is the qualifying ban that has been carried over from Russia, I believe it is. So yeah, so that's unfortunate then. Anyway, let me just quickly make sure that we're all good to go. I think we're all good to go. We've got a couple of comments that are flying in. Flying in now then, so hopefully we should be going in a minute. We're a minute into the session. We've got a Williams coming out there. We've got a debutant tonight in a second. No, yep, we've also got a Toro Rosso coming out as well. And Sam's not too happy at all about that, is he? He's really not happy about that, is he? So, oh dear. And we got Young Lights coming out. Yeah, because we've got a debutant. Van Doom then is in the Williams, and he is just replacing Roscoe, I believe, who is unable to race today, which is unfortunate. So we've got 2 now there. That is not just a sprinkling of rain. That is absolutely heavy rain. That is appalling conditions here in the Monaco Grand Prix at the moment. Well, the qualifying session anyway. Jonathan there is the first. I think he is not the first man out. Actually, the first man out is Granty, the champion, and also Le champion, and he's also won 2 races on the trot so far this season. He has been absolutely emphatic. He's been in absolutely emphatic form, hasn't he, so far this season? Scary stuff indeed, I must say. If you're if you're racing against Granty, my goodness me, we'll go through the championship in just a few moments. Everyone on board Granty is coming through to the back now. It's great to have you all along with us. As we've just got Jonathan Cox saying good evening, Sean. Good evening, Jonathan. Hope you're well tonight. We've also got Young Lights. Hello, Young Lights. Of course, did Granty there kiss the wall there? I'm not sure. Oh dear, that's not good at all for Granty tonight. And this rain is absolutely appalling. I think if this was real life qualified, they might have to stop the session. This is I tell you what, might need a canoe out there at the moment around Monaco. Maybe you need to get into one of those yachts or something like that. Perhaps they've got there. Jonathan could be the first man then to set a time. We've also got Laggy Racing, he's got a qualifying ban. We've got Brandon saying what's up. We've also got Granty going yo. No, I've just knocked off all the telemetry there, which is not good, is it? Now we're coming up to coming out of Sandevot now. Then he's powering up the hill. There's a McLaren coming out of the pits as well. In the so whilst Jonathan there is going to set the first time, then we got 15 minutes of this opening session. Then Granty is at the moment leading the championship by 50 points. He has got almost max scoring. He's not quite there. He's 2 points off the maximum scoring you can do. As Jonathan there just going into Mirabel there. So based on 50 points, Nigel, of course, the season 1 champion, is on 28 points at the moment. He's 22 points back now. Emerson, of course, the man who took it right to the wire in Abu Dhabi, is in third position mode. He moved up 2 positions there at 20. He's on 28 points as well. Joined 28 points with Nigel. Then we've got Jonathan moving up 3 positions. Had a very strong performance last time for Jonathan. He's in 4th position. Echo dropping down to 5th there. Unfortunately, he had issues with his connection, didn't he, which really robbed him of a result last time out in China. We've also got Favre moving up 10 positions to 6th position. That great stuff. Mr. Elite dropping down 3, dropping down 2 with Steve, and Twang moving up to 9th position. Well, Twang hopefully will join me in the commentary box fairly soon. Jonathan there drifting through the second part of the swimming pool there, and we've also got Murphy, who's moved up to 9 positions to 10th position as well. We've also got we've got Ryan saying couldn't think of a worse combination. Monaco and rain, dreading tomorrow. So yeah, it really is. But Jonathan's at a 26.284 at the moment. So that's a good opening time there, isn't it? Ryan Van Doom there is out on track. Hopefully, end doom for Ryan. Young Lights goes into second fastest on a 28.7 in the Red Bull. This weather is absolutely appalling out there. Emerson done a 25.5. Remember, Emerson potentially probably should have won this race last season if it wasn't for a certain Nosey who's got a yellow flag in two. Fisher's gone fastest, and was that Van Doom? Oh, it is. It's Van Doom there who's he's on a bit of lag out there as well, isn't he? At the moment, Van Doom is. He is really struggling at the moment there, and he's in the wall again there. Van Doom is. So he is struggling, and that is not good at all for Van Doom. Is here on board Nigel. Nigel there is just coming through the seafront chicane, accelerating out there nicely in the racing point. We've got 4 times on the board at the moment then, going through to back now as well. You can see, look at the standing water to the left hand side there. You've got to keep it within the in the confines only of that drier patch on the track there, and it's going to, look at this. There's Nigel there basically doing a bit of rallycross out there at the moment. Of course, we are a couple of minutes late, so apologies to all these guys out there, because I know a lot of guys do have racing after this as well, don't they? So that's kind of why we pushed it forward. And to be honest, Dan has just messaged me saying I should have asked him to host. I really should have, shouldn't I? I don't use my brain when I'm under pressure. That's why I'm not a driver anymore. Echo's gone full fast at the moment. Toon Fan is on the lap at the moment. We've also got Stringy into the Lowe's hairpin now. We've got Farf in his teammate as well, just coming out to Sandoval. Here's Granty, then as we said, the defending champion there. He's just coming from Mirabeau now. We got Matt then, of course. Matt, a former ALR driver. He is he's cheering for Steve tonight, isn't he? Steve hasn't come out the pits yet. He's not really keen on getting a bit damp out there, is he? So we come through into the tunnel now. Then we're on board then with Granty. Whilst we're on board, Granty, let's take a look at the Constructors' Championship. So Williams there is again 50 points courtesy of Granty at the moment. While up there as well, going through the steep French chicane, almost launching it over the curbs there. So Williams at the moment top of the top of the constructors. Alfa Romeo is second. Mercedes have moved up to third position now on 32 points. Racing Point has dropped down to fourth. Renault have been the biggest movers last time out, didn't they? Twang and Murphy had an incredible time in where was it? It was China. Yeah, it was China. And so now he comes through no DRS at the moment. Matt has asked me if he can say the weather is moist. It is pretty moist out there, isn't it? That's quite a lot of moisture in the air. So Granty goes into fifth fastest mode, and look at that, very nip and tuck between our two champions, Granty and Nigel. My goodness me, you can just about separate him with a whisker, can't you? Nigel's now just proved me completely wrong, and he's gone up into fourth position now. The track should get quicker and quicker, isn't it? You will there's a yellow flag in one there, and who is that? I'm not sure who it was. It's in that Sandoval, I think it is. Sam powering up the hill. Remember, Sam made his debut in the Monaco race last season, didn't he? And there was an interesting fact that Sam said, actually, that he has improved. He has improved. Oh no! He's gone into the wall, and oh my goodness me! And look, he's in the wall. He's in the middle of the track there. Oh dear! And just as I start to compliment Sam, it goes wrong for the McLaren driver. I was saying that he's improved by 3 seconds from last season. When he came into this season, so that is incredible, isn't it? I think Williams might be hoping for some kind of improvement like that in the real world of Formula 1. Unfortunately for Sam, that's not gone well at all. Farf is on his second lap. I gotta say, this rain is absolutely appalling out there, isn't it? I would blame the host, to be honest. He might not have done the weather settings right. Yeah, this is not good at all. It's a heavy rain in the Monaco. It's just absolutely outrageous. Farfair is not really even remotely keen on that seafront chicane, is he, as he flies through. We're watching grills then. Yellow flag in 2 and 3. There's yellow flags flying all over the show. Wow, it's Farfair flying through. It's that Sam there just getting out of the way. I think that's what the yellow flags are for at the moment. Toon Fan there is on board with Toon Fan at the moment. As we're going into the back. Oh, he's in the wall instead of Hamilton. He's in the wall. That's not good at all for the Toro Rosso driver. And he's on his way. Did he damage the car? It was the lightest of touches there, but I think that's which that is. Oh dear. So yeah, Toon Fan's gonna have to come back in the pits now, isn't he? And a lot of the drivers are really not keen on these conditions at all, are they? Into the pits does come Toon Fan now, and he's going to have another go, isn't he? Here comes Murphy. Remember, Murphy was walking on water last time we had a lot of rain like this, didn't we? Emerson's gone faster still, hasn't he? He's only got 1 pole position to his name at the moment, Emerson is. Remember, this is Q1. We got 2 more qualifying sessions to sort this out then at the moment. I have a feeling the rain isn't going to clear up though, because usually Jonathan, who's our weather forecaster out there, is he hasn't said anything about the weather, so I'm wondering if it's here to stay for the foreseeable future. Brandon there is in the Renault there, and he's, of course, remember last time Brandon was in the Renault, he got a 1-2, didn't he, with the Renault team back in Abu Dhabi. It was an absolute cracking of a race, wasn't it, for the team Renault. He has a new teammate in the forward, Dan Murphy, here this evening, and just getting a bit of opposite lock there now, coming into the tunnel now as well. And of course the tunnel is almost completely dry, isn't it? So yeah, that's basically like driving on a dry track then. Lovely over the shoulder shot, isn't it? We've got Harry there in the comments saying good luck, Steve. Of course, we've got the Steve fan club out here tonight, and it's great to see as well. And Steve, there, we will show Steve in a minute, because I think he's actually on the lap. He is on the lap. He's just beginning this lap, so we're keeping an eye on the Haas driver as well in a minute. We've also got Hancock's in as many leagues as Blast. Yeah, of course, yeah, Jonathan does love a good league race, doesn't he? I think he's in one after this run as well. So yeah, you got to say that man is full of commitment, isn't he? Bradley's not full of any commitment at the moment. He's coming into the pits. Well, he is full of commitment. He's going into the pits, and it's just we've lost Steve. He goes out of the Lowe's hairpin. This is a lovely shot of the Lowe's hairpin, isn't it? But there he is. He's just coming through now. Look at that there. Of course, we've had a couple of big old smashes around here. We haven't even spoke about the history of the Monaco Grand Prix, have we? Because we came straight on there, and just we were in it right from the get-go, weren't we? We've also got Twang there, who I think is going to be joining me in a minute. So I think so hopefully Twang will be in a minute, but he's in the comments there. Let's go, guys. We got Fisher saying it's horrible out there. We've also got Twang saying comms won't be today, Sean. Oh, so that's a shame now. So Twang there oh no, and Steve's in the wall, is he? But he's kept it going, hasn't he? He's getting very wobbly out there, isn't he? Steve, at the moment, has he got damage? He has got damage, the Haas car has, and that's not good at all, is it, from Steve? But he's carrying on there. Of course, remember, we're aiming to lose 4 cars in this session. We've lost Laggy already because of a qualifying ban. Where does Steve go? He jumped up in the 9th at the moment. String, he's in 10th position, then he's the last man to set times. So unfortunately, I think Twan's not going to be joining us today. I think he's heard my voice and thought, nope, better not. Here comes Gooner then, the Irishman. I'm sure he's fairly adapted to these weather conditions out there, isn't he? And yeah, really appalling weather conditions out there as well. Oh, and he almost clipped the barrier there. Gunnar did. Then he's coming up to the back now. There's a Ferrari in the background there. We've also got wow, this track is fun from a Granty. We've also got Noah Gamer Murphy. You got this today. Of course, Twan, usually the Renault regular driver, but unfortunately today he hasn't been able to make it. We've also got Toon saying not enjoying this out there at all. Cars everywhere and ruining my laps. Young lights, this weather is appalling. We've also got Nathan Hughes, of course. I think he's the president of the Emerson fan club. He is back in the comments as well. Fantastic stuff. Guna comes across the line and he's invalidated his time, so he's going to have another go, another crack at this Monaco Grand Prix circuit. That's a car in the wall. That's Fireshot who's in the wall. And oh my goodness me, yeah, that's a lot of water out there, isn't it? And Fireshot, of course, he's had a couple of pole positions in his career in ALR, but today it's yeah, he's got to get a Q1 first, hasn't he? Sam there's is coming into Echo's retired, but I think that he hasn't retired. I don't think. I think he's just retired in the pits, if any of that makes sense, which it really doesn't probably. On board Sam then is well before Sam had a spin. I think it was coming out of Casino Square. He yeah, he's improved absolutely incredibly, hasn't he? 3 seconds. The time's improved from last season to this season. Remember, he drove the Mercedes last season. This season he's driving McLaren Renault, but and he has definitely improved incredibly well. Is now flying out there, and getting a bit squirrely there, isn't he? Sam is, and now they come into Raskas now then, accelerating around, come through Anthony Nogues then, the brainchild, the man who with the ideal behind the race there around Monaco, and a lot of these drivers are probably not too happy about that. Sam goes onto a 27.9 moment, very close to Stringy, just a couple of hundreds off there. Toon there is now starting a lap as well. Toon's had a bit of misdemeanor, hasn't he, so far in this session, in terms of finding people at the wrong place. We're coming up to Gunnar now. He comes across the line. Gunnar is gone into 12th fastest moment in the racing point. Lovely stuff indeed. What about Fireshot? We're on board with Fireshot then. No, we ain't. We're on board. We can't have 2 Ryans in the session, can we? Because I just struggle. And we're on board with Van Doom here, and he needs to kind of get a time to run. So far in the bottom 4. That go for it. Oh, and he's in the wall. He's actually through the wall. My goodness me. Oh wow! I got to say that car is. That car is a bit futuristic there, isn't it? As he's coming through the final cut, and he's coming back in the pits, and yellow flag in 2. Just taking a look, see what's going on in 2. Brandon there is out of track. Murphy has to set a time yet, so Murphy needs to have to get his skates on here. Lovely over the shoulder shot here with Toon Fan, isn't he? He's coming down, breaking into the C front chicane now, and he's back away then, isn't he? And now coming through then, to back there. Yeah, but Ryan's just saying then, so we're on board then with Tuna. Yeah, as Ryan was just saying then, a far shot crashed in Senna's favourite quarter. I think that's a corner. I think that's at Portier, isn't it? Of course, unfortunately, Aaron Senna there was dominating the 88 Grand Prix, wasn't it? Oh, he's got into the wall again. Too far as I think he is an anti-note then, but he should be. Is he going to be able to improve his time? He goes. At the moment, he's invalidated his time again. At the moment, as Farf goes up to, I don't know who that was actually. I'm just looking up for Farf on board with Murphy then. At the moment, he's coming through. Grittlesy is on the lap now as well. Coming through the second room pole section now on car 14 is here's Murphy then, and he is coming through coming through Mirabel now. Look at that thing accelerating away, and he's back in the pits as well then. I'm hoping this rain does go away really, because I think, to be honest, this is kind of, yeah, I've got to say, it is a bit brutal, isn't it, to have a wet race in Monaco, isn't it? Two fans out there at the moment. Grillsy is also coming down Mirabeau now as well. We've all got outlap for far shot, yellow flags in 2 as it stands at the moment, and now coming through Portier now as well, flying through Portier, Tunis, well, it's the best he can do in these wet weather conditions. Just, Matt saying that Van Doom there don't lag too much, does he? So, it's, yeah, we just did him go into the wall of the swimming pool there, isn't it? So it's just watching and seeing what's going on there. Oh dear, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's me done. Yeah, I just got to make sure I've. Oh no! And look who's in front. We got Sam in front. We got Young Lights in front. This is not good at all there for Toon. He is trying to get a time going, but he has turned the ears right down, hasn't he? So yeah, that's not ideal at all, is it, for Toon at the moment? Now Toon having a bit of a very unhappy Monaco Grand Prix. This is his second race of his career. Unfortunately, his first race didn't start too well, did it? I don't think he took the grid to the grid, did he, Toon Fan? Because he had all sorts of issues with all kinds of stuff in China last time out, yeah, and that's that then. And there's a couple of unhappy drivers. And Fisher's gone fast across. Remember, Fisher's the king of the one-lap specialist. Well, he's not only the king of the one-lap specialist, he's a quick driver as well, isn't he? Fisher is. Fisher's championship hasn't really got off to the best of start at the moment, has he? But he's flown himself right up to the top of the time sheet. Here comes Fire Shot coming through to the back now. We had some almighty shunts in to back, didn't we? Martin Brunner, a scary one. I think he was in 83, possibly 83, 84 in his Turl. Yeah, so it was a mighty old shot there. We also had I think someone went over the back of Coulthard one year. I think it was Fizzy Keller in his Sauber, didn't he? Yeah, so Fizzy Keller has also been on the wall side as well. Look at this, the cars are going quicker and quicker. Look at that, they're set. That's 5 lap old wet tyres. Emerson's on, and he is flying for that. We got less than 50 seconds to go in this session. Fire Shot is still invalidating this time. He's right on the cusp at the moment now. Oh, and he kisses the wall as well. He needs to get himself sorted. What about Van Doom? Van Doom's in the hairpin at the moment. We got Murphy has the set time. Murphy's in the pits. Murphy is still in the pits. About Toon Fan is coming through the C French gate. Murphy might be out of qualifying. That is a huge shock here for Dan Murphy. Remember, Dan finished 4th for the Drivers' Championship last season. String's retired from the session. He should be safe. Should be. Coming for Anthony Notes now, then flying into it. Number no DRS. There's only one DRS done around here anyway. I think Japan's the only other track that has one DRS then. And Young Toon goes into 10th fastest at the moment. Then we got Grillsy then, who is at just we set a time. Oh, he's in 14th position. Grillsy is, so he's just in there. Gooner's in the pits. Murphy's in the pits as well. Murphy is out. Laggy is out. Who else is going to be out? It's the two Ryans, and this is feeling a bit worried. Well, probably feeling a bit of the pinch at the moment. We're on board with Van Dorn. I keep saying Van Dorn, but of course Van Dorn does race in the Silver League, doesn't he? And he's coming into the pits, so that's a lot of lag there, isn't it? I wonder, open up my connection. Oh dear, I'm going to be in all kinds of trouble, and Fire Shot then coming into the oh, he's parked in the same place as Schumacher there, and he's in the pits as well. We have lost Murphy, Laggy, Fire Shot, and Van Doom. They've all lost out in this first part of qualifying. This has been an absolutely horror show, hasn't it? Remember, Murphy's been on pole 3 times. Fire Shot's been on pole as well. Laggy and Van Doom all out of qualifying, unfortunately. and that is a huge blow for those drivers there, isn't it? So there's someone else just popped up. It's Nigel there, who is also getting quickly. They've done 5 laps on those tyres then. And yeah, so wow, an incredible opening stage of qualifying here. Yeah, we have lost 4 drivers who didn't even set a time either. So that's really interesting to see what's really occurring now. Incredible stuff here at the Monaco Grand Prix. Remember, this is round 3 of ALR Gold, and yeah, it's been an absolutely stonker of a start, hasn't it here? And well, remember, we've got to go for all this again tomorrow with Silver as well. Hopefully a bit. Ryan definitely one of them just wants a bit more of a drier session out there. As Nigel coming through Poirier now as well. Then we got Toon Fan, who I think is still out there at the moment. It's Toon Fan is coming into the pits as well. Then. So then, I think that is that then, unfortunately then, for a couple of drivers then. So as you can see coming into the pit lane, of course the pit lane was newly remodeled, wasn't it, back in 2004? Remember, they used to have a very cramped pit lane, didn't they? It's completely, it doesn't look very spacious there now, but it's it's completely different to how it was back in 2003 and below, isn't it? Young Lights has got a 5 place grid penalty for something that's gone wrong now for the Red Bull driver, so that's not good at all for the Red Bull driver there, Young Lights. So that's a shame then. So that's just going to just pile more pressure on the Red Bull on Young Lights. Anyway, out of qualifying, we got 4 drivers who didn't set a time. Anyone who set a time got through. Van Doom there, unfortunately, didn't get through there. Of course, making his debut tonight. What a difficult place to make your debut. Fire shot out of qualifying as well. He didn't set a time either. Laggy Racer was banned and he got 17th then, so I think he'd be quite happy with that. And Dan Murphy, remember, the man who's got pole position 3 times at the moment. I think he's actually the he's got the most. Well, he used to have the most pole positions till Jonathan took that crown away from him last time out. So yeah, that's that's incredible stuff, isn't it, to see Dan Murphy out. Lights has just Laggy saying yeah, he's not last. We've also got Lights saying I crashed out and Sam goes at full speed into me. What's wrong with him? Oh dear, I got invalidated lap for no reason at all, and Leclerc mode engaged. So is yes. I think it's a tale of difficult qualifying session at the moment, and the rain hasn't really eased up at the moment, has it? We're 40 minutes into this session, and it's very much well, it's absolutely pouring down out there at the moment, isn't it? It's time for some of the drivers there to really rise to the top, isn't it? What can they do in their wet weather? What can they do in their wet weather specialists? Really is, isn't it? Of course, remember we had a couple of wet qualifying sessions in the past. One of the more famous ones, well, probably not actually. Austria 98, that was incredible. I think Fizzy Keller got pole position that day. It was an incredible qualifying session. It really was. It was absolutely pouring down for all of it, really. And I'm wondering if we're going to get a qualifying session here tonight as well. But I expected the rain should start to ease up, really. And what about the race as well? Do the drivers really want to race around in this wet for 30? I think it's 39 odd laps. That's going to be difficult, isn't it? I gotta say, that's one thing I really do not want to do around here. We had an absolutely epic race here last season, didn't we? In season 2, of course. Nigel, this is the last time that Nigel won a race, actually, which of course I think that's the 6th win of his ALR career, and it was last time out here in Monaco. It was a brilliant duel between Knowlesy and Emerson. It really was. Nigel was on an alternative strategy back then, wasn't he? And it was a cracking battle. I gotta say, it's one of my more favourite races of last season. Really enjoyed that. That was brilliant stuff. Just coming through the tunnel now and then coming down into the sea French chicane. We had some horrible crashes down there as well. Of course, Rosberg in a practice, Perez in 2011 as well, Button in 2003, and of course I think Perez missed the race of Monaco 2011, and I think Button also missed the race in 2003 as well, because that was a horrible crash, wasn't it, when he was in the BAR Honda. As we're just rushing right then, he's going to be the first man to he's going to be the first man to put a time on the board. 5 place grid penalty for Fisher. What's going on? And it's with Echo. That is not gone well at all. For Fisher, I think he's damaged the car. He has damaged the car there for Echo. He's gone. I wonder if he's gone to the back of Echo when he was on an outlap. But Fisher there, who was fastest, or was looking, well, was one of the fastest drivers, wasn't he, in the opening stages there. It hasn't gone well at all for who am I saying? Fisher. Yeah, so that's not gone at all. So we've got 2 men with 5 place grid penalties already in this race, and this is probably the worst track on the calendar where you don't want to start near, you don't want to be dropping down the order, do you? And that is not good at all for Fisher, is it? Probably one of the men that might have been favourites for pole position. Not at the moment there. Of course, Jonathan at the moment is 2 for 2. Someone needs to really break that lottery, doesn't he, John, for this? Yeah, of course, Jonathan sent me a video actually earlier on in the week about like a Schumacher. I can't remember what it was. A pole position from Michael Schumacher in 2004, and it was very very similar to I think the pole position he got in Russia. It was incredibly well, wasn't it? How he threw the car around, and Jonathan did exactly the same night in Russia, I think it was. So yeah, I quite like that comparison. Very nice indeed. Going through to the back then. Here comes Granty. Granty at the moment, I would say that qualifying is not his strong forte, is it? He's only had one pole position in 21 Grand Prix he's drove an ALR, but see, look at him just taking a drifting line around there, isn't he? Now coming up to Anthony Noakes now then, and what can Granty do then? Oh, taking 2 bites of the cherry there to get through Anthony Noakes then. He is coming into the line now. Let's see what he can do, and he's done a 26 then to put his lap down. We got a McLaren there just behind, I think it was. But I think that might have been someone up with Toon in the wall again there. He's damaged the car. Toon has in that. Young Lights has gone second, but now Brandon's gone second. It's the fastest now. A 26.7 there for the Renault driver. Young Lights is third at the moment. Toon has damaged the car. Is he going to continue? Is he coming in the pits there? He is coming in the pits. Fisher is back in the pits. I wonder if he's seething about that at the moment. Stringy up into 5th position, and Echo is 3rd fastest. Granty's all off. Oh, he's done a Rosberg. So he's at Merbo there. So Granty there is I think taking a bit of inspiration off of Rosberg there when Rosberg got his pole position in 2014. I think that was the start of the fractions between Hamilton and Rosberg, wasn't it? So we're on board then with Steve. He comes across the line now. Where does Steve jump up to? Of course, he's got a massive fan club here watching us tonight. It's great stuff indeed to see all you fans behind Steve. I've got to say, Steve's a great racing driver, isn't he? Sometimes I've got to say he's very similar to Mark Webber in a way, isn't he? In Formula 1, he just seems to have gets the bad luck, doesn't he? Really unfortunate for Steve, but I gotta say I would say he's almost the complete racing driver, isn't he? Here comes Sam then. Sam on the going through the second part of the swimming pool then as he flies through the second part. I gotta say the second part of the swimming pool part is you get an adrenaline rush every time you go through there. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Of course, if Monaco was if you tried to race around Monaco today or suggested it, people would just call you crazy, wouldn't you? It's been a long-standing Grand Prix, hasn't it? Sam moves up to 6th position. That's a very good time there from Sam in the McLaren. Very decent indeed there, isn't it? Using the experience from last season possibly. Grosey flying down into the seafront chicane. We've got Nigel just coming through Portgate now. Let's go on board with the British Irishman. Gunnar left possession. I'm hoping that Gunnar comes back in a bit. We're on board there with Jonathan coming through Anthony Noakes then, flying then through, and let's see what he can do then. We're watching him now then, and what does he do? He almost hugs the and he goes second fastest then on a 25.5 then, and wow, 24.8 for Emerson then. My goodness me, Emerson is going for a second pole position here, isn't he? Gross is back in the pits then. Oh, look at this. There's Nigel there coming through the second part with the where am I? I don't even know where what I'm talking about. Who knows? So now he's coming for Anthony Noakes then, and he's on his way then. I'm a bit frazzled tonight. I know. I haven't got the he's up in 6th position now. I know it's Monaco, isn't it? And of course we haven't usually I do have the Carmen influence of Knowlesy in the commentary box with me tonight. Unfortunately, well, usually, but I don't have Knowlesy in the box tonight. But of course we will see him back, I think, hopefully fairly soon, hopefully in silver tomorrow night. Anyway, yes, as we're just watching far for the moment, he's coming through Casino Square, dropping down the hill then as he comes into Mirbeau. Fisher starting his lap now, got yellow flagging too. Farf's gone a bit wide there, but he's kept it out the wall then, which is very unusual around here. There is no runoff at all, is there? LH44 is just saying good evening, good evening, LH44. Of course, a driver who I've a very good driver indeed, isn't he, in the Formula 1? And I would assume he's a very big Lewis Hamilton fan, isn't he? So watching just a farmer fly through the tunnel there, and he's coming now down into the seafront chicane. Now there's a racing point in front of us there. Farf has gone way too deep in there. Is that invalidated this time? Well, possibly. We'll find out in a minute then as he comes up to the back now.
And so he's took his foot off the throttle there, and he's back away there. So at the moment, then we got to 10 draws to set fast time. Set time. We're down to 7.5 minutes to go. Then as we come down to Mirabel now, Toonfan's done a 28.8 so far in Mirabel in the first sector. Lap, of course, the sectors around Monaco, like everywhere else, it's split up into 3 sectors, unless it's MotoGP. I think it's split up into 4, isn't it? And he's almost gone to the barrier. Of course, Schumacher went to the barrier in 96. Of course, one of my more favourite races. Go watch on YouTube. It's absolutely cracking, isn't it? Only 3 cars actually finished that race. Fisher's gone fastest. Remember, he's got a 5-place grid penalty. He might do a Schumacher in 2012, where he gets on pole position, then drops back 5 positions. Yeah, I'd say that I can't really comment on why he's got that 5-place grid penalty. It's Monaco though, isn't it? And it's raining as well. It's just a nightmare, isn't it, for these drivers out there? I gotta say it's probably one of the most toughest conditions you'll ever see. In a league race, so well in qualifying anyway. As a Toon fan coming through again, we've got 6.5 minutes to go. He's carrying on, so I think he just wants to get a lap on the board. Then for Toon, comes through the final corner now. Let's see what he can do. Then he turns the ears right up. I think he's going to go for it again. Gunnar is back in the session, and that's what I think all of Ireland is cheering. I'm cheering. It's great to see Gunnar back in the session. He's not in, and hopefully we can see what he can do. He's in the pits at the moment, isn't he? So Gunnar is. So hopefully he's got 6 minutes to get himself back in the car and get him ready to go then. On board with Farfen. Remember, Farfen's got 3 wins to his name in ALR. He's a very accomplished driver, isn't he? Farfen's done right. Farfen's been involved in some of my more favourite races. There was one in Austria. I think I commentated for a different league. He was, I think, 20th on the grid. Echo's retired from the session now. I think he's out for his 4th position. As Farf goes for just displaces Echo in 4th. Yeah, Farf from, I think it was 20th on the grid. Storm's right up to 2nd. Brilliant. That was a brilliant race that day. It was. Toon there is, hopefully he doesn't have to do that today. Well, I don't know. Farf does like starting from the back of the grid. Murphy has left the session now. So I'm not sure what's occurring at the moment. I'm wondering if, as we're just on board Grillsy, and as he's coming through the lows hairpin now, Grillsy, it's not set time yet, nor is Toon, nor is Gunnar. Coming through Portier now, and away he goes and going into the tunnel as well. And he's going to come out the tunnel. And of course, it's not a sunny day really, so you don't by the light as much, do you? As Grills are there. Oh, going a bit too deep there. Of course, it's very difficult to spot your breaking point, isn't it, on the wet track? Look at how wet it is off the racing line. Toon is retired from the session, and that is not good at all. It's in sector 3. We're on board with Grillsy, and oh no, I think he's in the wall. He is in the, oh dear, he's right in the middle of the track there. Of course, I think we had we had an unusual crash around there, didn't we, in 95. I think it was Sciatarella, wasn't it? He was spun and couldn't get back around. Unfortunately for Toon, he has gone into the wall. He's done it for Staffen, but a bit more harder by the looks, because the car must have ricocheted off the outside bar and gone back into the track. Grillsy, his time was compromised from that, so he's only 12. We got under 5 minutes to go in this section. We got Sam emerging from the pit lane. He's 13th at the moment. Murphy is back in the session, and we'll see what he can do as well. Of course, Murphy unfortunately out of this qualifying session, but he's due to him not making the cut, unfortunately, which is shameful for Murphy. On board with Lights at the moment. I'm loving that helmet from Lights there. Lovely black and purple with a hint of blue as well. Fisher's gone faster still. Fisher's really showing some pace out there at the moment. Fisher is. Lung Lights is back at the pits head. Nigel's on that lap. We got Granty, our champion, who's 6th fastest at the moment. Farf is what's he doing then? We're on board. Farf, is he improving? He's 6 tenths of a second down. Jonathan is also decided to, he's not going to take any of that, is he, with Fisher and Emerson really going great guns at the moment. Of course, Jonathan, I would say, is the undisputed qualifier, isn't he? And, oh, we got a yellow flag in 2. Oh, that's a Ferrari. That's Farfair parked in the middle of Lowe's there, isn't he? It's a beautiful hotel. Well, so I'm told. I'm not really I'm not the kind of guy to be spending my weekends at Monaco, I can tell you that. But yeah, it's a beautiful hotel there, and I think Farf probably might want to check in there. But at the moment, he's 4th at the moment, so he looks like he's checking into Q3 absolutely splendidly well. Going through to the back at the moment, I gotta say, absolutely incredible stuff from you guys. It's great to see all you fans watching out there. It's brilliant stuff, isn't it? And I love to see. Oh, it's Jonathan there making a kiss of the wall there. I love to see all you guys watching. I would like to hear your opinions as well, and all your expertise. I was hoping to have a Twang in the commentary box with us tonight, but I don't think he could join. We remember we tried to get Twine in a couple last year as well, didn't he? But he had a problem with his connection, didn't he? Jonathan goes into, he's a 10th of a second down at the moment. Jonathan is, so that's unfortunate from from Jonathan in the Alfa Romeo, so he didn't improve his time, but well, I would say it's not too unfortunate, really, because he's still in the moment. Here comes Nigel, he's on the cusp of he's done 26. He's 2 tenths in front of Lights and Steve, who are on the cusp of them. Steve, at the moment, is still in the pits, so it's a short-out lap around here, but having said that, because of the weather, it's obviously you're a couple of seconds slower, aren't you? Well, when I say a couple, we're about at least 10 seconds off, and probably more than 10 seconds off with this awful weather conditions out there at the moment, isn't it? Going through the sea front chicane, Nigel, and he's on a fast at the moment. Young Lights is back out, and now we got Steve still in the pits, and Stringy's out on track. Where's Grillsy? Grillsy's coming out as well. We've got Sam who's on track, and Gunnar is out there as well. My goodness me, it's going to be a traffic jam on the road. Here comes Nigel, Season 1 champion, coming through the second part of the chicane now then, of the swimming pool chicane. Say then, it's like wrestling the bear out there at the moment, isn't it? It's absolutely incredible, these weather conditions. So they come through the anti-notes, and let's see what he's going to do then. And here he goes, and what is he doing? What is he doing? Nigel goes 4th fastest. Incredible time there from Nigel, and he's moving himself on to 4th position. We've got yellow flags in there 2 at the moment. We got String who's on track at the moment. We've got Sam who's coming through to the back, is he? Oh, he's still got all the wing. Incredible stuff. Not also Gunnar coming out of 48. We'll keep an eye on Sam. He's 7 tenths of a second up this McLaren drivers. Oh, and he's getting very lively on the steering wheel. It is fantastic. Of course, this is this really shows how skilled you are. No, how brave you are, not how skilled you are. And some drivers, I've got to say, that's a brave lap from Sam. That's a cracking lap from Sam. He is up into 9th position. Wow, that is a brilliant lap. We only watched the 3rd sector, didn't we? Stringy is at 6th. Oh, Gunnar has ripped off the front left corner of the racing point. He is done. He is out. That's in the swimming pool. He's done a Rosberg. He is done. He is finished, unfortunately for Gunnar. He is out of the session. That is a big shame for the Irishman, isn't he? He's going to start 15th. Toon is starting 14th. We've lost 2 drivers already with just under a minute to go. Stringy there is just getting himself warmed up and ready to go. We're on board the Ferrari driver now. He is just slowing down then. It's Jonathan's retired from the session. He is through, we think. Stringy's going now. We got Steve, who's also, he's got 39 seconds to get to that. We've also got Grills out there as well. This is going to get very, very interesting indeed, isn't it? Lights is 500 second down. Sam, what a lap there from Sam. Impressive stuff as well. Lights there coming out onto the harbour front now then. And now he's serious away. Coming into to back now. Let's see where he goes. Fisher's retired from the session. He is fast at the moment, and he's 4 tenths of a second down. Lights is about, he's got 16 seconds to get around to the finish. He's he's in the wall. He's in the wall for Lights is, but he's in 10th position. Well, that's where he needs to be by the slimmest of margin. Wow, I would love to be that slim, but yeah, at the moment Lights is just through, but he's unfortunately he's not going to be able to take part. As that is it, the checker flag has dropped. This is it then. The guys are on the lap are allowed to finish the lap. Grillsy, Stringy, and Steve are all out there at the moment. Oh dear. I'm not sure what happened there then. Anyway, we're back on board then with Steve at the moment then. And we will be getting going as well. Apologies about that. I don't know why why it all sort of went a bit funny. Who knows? Anyway, as Stringy now, we're on board with Stringy at the moment, and he's flying through to the back at the moment. Let's see what he can do then. And he is coming through the swimming pool section as well. Brandon is out of qualifying, but he's done. Grillsy just coming through the swimming pool as well. Then 10th for a second, 3 tenths of a second for Steve. We are going to get right into it now. Then back on board then with Stringy. He is up into Anthony Notes now. Let's see what he can do then. He's run out of deployment. He's run out of verse. Young Lights is the man who's got that covered in 10th position at the moment. Stringy comes through. Stringy's in 8th position. He is through. Sam is on the cusp. And we got a don't know who that was. Grillsy is going to be through Anthony Notes. He comes through Anthony Notes. Let's see what he can do then. Here he comes and he's to the line. He's to the line. What does he do? Grillsy goes 12. He's 30th at the end then. What about Steve? Oh, that's a great time for Steve. He is in 7th position. Then Sam is just on. Can he get through? Sam 4 tenths of a second down. But I've got to say that was an incredible time there from Sam. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then from the McLaren driver. Wow, I got to say that was an incredible qualifying session. It really was. And unfortunately then Sam there, doing a bit of just getting on the loud pedal there, and he comes into the pits then. So, unfortunately, we have lost Sam. He's in an incredible 11th position, and that's very well done from Sam. That was a mighty fine lap. That was brilliant. We was only riding on board with him. We wasn't actually we was living the lap with Sam there. It was incredible, wasn't it? Young Lights is 12th position. Just unfortunately, 13th position is Grillsy, Toonfan, and Gunnar are also out of qualifying as well. As we're just now waiting for Q3 to start. We got TMH. Where are you from?
Well, I'm from the deep dark regions of the forest. So yeah, as you can tell from my farmer voice, and I need to get back on my tractor. So we've also got Toon saying, I hit the wall at 60 miles an hour. Don't know how the hell I lost my I lost his tire. It doesn't know. Exceeded. I got XP. Lovely stuff. Yeah. So these cars can be very fragile. So going into Q3, we have Fisher, Emerson, Granty, Nigel, Jonathan, Favre, Steve, Echo, Stringy, and Brandon. Wow, that is an incredible bunch of drivers. Look, 5,500 seconds between Fisher and Emerson. It is. I got I think it was Granty that predicted earlier on in the day that it's going to be a duel between Fisher and Emerson. Unfortunately, we might be robbed of that because of the 5-place grid penalty that Fisher has got. So we are losing Sam, Young Knights, Grillsy, Toon, and Gooner all out of Q2. And Jonathan there is Jonathan. That's good. I thought you abandoned me, to be honest. I felt a bit lonely, but no, Jonathan has said that it's a dry race, thank God. So yeah, of course Jonathan is I gotta say there's no shame really. I think Jonathan does struggle in the wet, but I think I'd say at least 95% of the drivers also struggle in the rain as well. I gotta say it's an absolutely incredible qualifying session. It's just been bucketing it down all the way through, hasn't it? So yeah, it's because Grillsy, who's usually the taskmaster, is he, the session master, he's kind of left me to do, asked me to do all this, and this is what happened, you see. No guidance, it all goes to pot. Anyway, as we go into Q3 now, we got 12 minutes of this session, and it's going fantastic as it looks. The Mercedes driver, the Mercedes mechanic with no coat on there, that's a brave man, isn't it? He's going to catch a cold out there. Anyway, here comes Fisher then. Unfortunately for Fisher, he will not get pole position, which he does have the speed, but he just, unfortunately, he's got a 3-place grid penalty for the collision with Echo there. We got intermediate tires going on for Jonathan, and that's going to be interesting, isn't it? The rain hasn't really let up, has it, to be honest? Well, I've got to say, it looks slightly lighter there, or is it just my imagination? Possibly just my imagination out there, as we're now flying them through to Casino Square, dropping down. There's soft tires for Stringy, and so Stringy going on the soft compound tire, and he's, well, I've got to say, he's really, if he gets around on those soft tires, that'd be impressive, wouldn't it, at the moment then? So we've got Fisher on and out, like we've got Favre, we got Echo, Jonathan, Emerson, Granty, and Steve all out on the track at the moment. We got Nigel, we got New F1 and Stringy, who are all currently in the pits at the moment. We got Toon also saying, thank God it's drive for the race. I hate the wet weather. You can't battle. I must say I do like changeable weather conditions. Though I like it where it goes from like wet to dry or dry to wet. That really throws a spanner in the works. But I definitely agree. A dry race does make it a lot more interesting, doesn't it? Remember, this is a night race last year, wasn't it? It really added a new dynamic, didn't it, to the race. Really enjoyed the cars looked so good under the lights last season, didn't it? We do have a bit of lights going on show at the moment, but that's because of the appalling weather conditions out there here in Monaco. We have had a couple of wet races in Monaco, haven't we? Well, I say a couple, of course, that incredible race in '96, that incredible race in '82, actually, where I think it just started a sprinkler of rain with 3 laps scope, didn't it? Like all the leaders just seemed to go off the track. We had, I think we had Peroni, who just ran out of fuel in the pit lane there, in the tunnel there. We had Patrese did a lovely pirouette down the Lowe's hairpin, didn't it? I don't think it was called the Lowe's hairpin. No. Alan Prost had a big old smash there out to the seafront chicane. Again, I don't think it's called the seafront chicane. Big old smash there in the Renault there. I think he actually hurt his leg there as well in that crash back in '82. We had the Chiselers who just retired as well. It was an incredible race, wasn't it? '82, I think it was one of Murray Walker's most favourite races, isn't it? Of course, '84 as well, where Senna was absolutely incredible stuff. Of course, they stopped the race, didn't they? When Senna was flying up to the back of Alan Prost. A preview of what was to come, wasn't it? Really, between Prost and Senna, it was that was an incredible race as well. A lot heavier rain than what it is here today, I can assure you that. Yeah, '96, of course, we just mentioned that was an impressive race as well. We also had the '97 race as well. Barrichello in the Stewart. Remember, Stewart was making their debut back then. Got up to second. An incredible race there. Schumacher again, showing how incredible he was in the wet there. And of course, Williams decided to go on the slick tyres. I think McLaren did as well. That didn't go well for them, did it? I think Villeneuve is, of course, a very good driver, but I think in Monaco he really struggled around here, didn't he? Now as he drops down into coming into Anthony Nose down, then let's see what Fisher does. So Fisher's coming the first man then to, oh no, he's in the wall. Anthony Nose then, and oh dear, that is not good at all for Fisher then, and he has done a 26 then, but 2 is going, and Echo is gone on. He's 3 tenths up then, Echo is, and he is in second position at the moment. Stringy there is in, it's coming through Casino Square, in for Anthony Nose down, and it's Farfair. Oh, Farfair, almost they're going into the wall then. The curb is slightly higher, it's slightly raised, isn't it? We can't help you from going in the wall. Farfair is only third fastest moment there for Farf. Oh, and Jonathan back in the pit side, so he is done. He's not having a go with those intermediate tires again, I don't think. Steve going up in the 4,000 moment to the Haas there. Steve doing a good job then in the Haas team this season, isn't he? Really good stuff indeed there from the Haas start. Stringy there just coming through the tunnel, I believe. Yeah, it is a tunnel, isn't it? We got Nigel's coming through the field as well. Let's go back to Brandon. We're on board Brandon. Well, we're in on board with him. We're just watching him go through to back there, and of course to back there we've had a couple of cars going the wall to back there. Ralph Schumacher in 2005, I think it was. Oh dear, Brandon there. I gotta say that looked absolutely incredible car control there from Brandon, but unfortunately that's not the quickest way to go around there, is it? And there's a Jonathan's got wing damage, which is why he came back in the pit, so that's unfortunate there for Jonathan. Here comes new Brandon as he comes up to the finish line now. What is the time? The time is not good on the clock. It's Stringy comes through as well. Stringy goes up into 4th fastest in the forest. A 4-4 in front row. Well, Nigel, pole position for Nigel at 25.7 there from, oh, he's in the wall there. He launched into the wall of Sandoval, but pole position for Nigel there. Can Emerson, let's go on board with Emerson, the man who was runner-up last season in season 2. Remember, he made his debut back in Baku and then went 2 races on the trot. This is the first, oh, that's a bit, I think that was a Renault car, wasn't it? A bit of Renault car on the floor there. String getting on the way as well, coming down to Mirabel now. Yellow flags out, Nigel there parking in the place reserved for Rosberg. Now going to the Lowe's hairpin there. Of course, we had a bit of a traffic jam in 2000, didn't we? Where we seen a lot of drivers running back there when the races were red flag. Back then they had T cars, didn't they? Now coming into Portier there. Of course, I've got to say Portier looks a lot more beautiful in the game than it does in real life, because there's a big old blue board up there now, isn't it? Coming into the tunnel then, and you can see it's going to be a head of a lift. No, it's not even on these wet tyres there of Emerson, which is probably not very grippy around there, is it? Going into the seafront chicane then. Oh, very close at the cut there. Accelerates the red arm nicely, getting very close to the barrier. Tabak is in front of us then. What does he do? He slings it in there. Does he touch the wall? No, not quite then. Emerson uses all the track absolutely perfectly well. 102 in the second sector. Second part of the swimming pool there as well. We've seen for Stafford going the wall there. On a big old clunk there, isn't it? In the last couple of years, you can see tickling the throttle there, going up, all dropping down into Anthony Nose then. 50 miles an hour, accelerates away then. Emerson, the line is up now. What is he doing? It's a 25.7 he's aiming for. It is pole position for Emerson. And absolutely incredible out there from the Mercedes driver. Wow, brilliant stuff there for Emerson. And he is the man to beat out that boat. Jonathan has really rolled the dice though on these intermediate tyres. Let's go on board then with the British-Italian driver as he flies into Thunderfoot then. And you can see very gingerly as well going into Thunderfoot then, climbing up the hill then. The undulations around here is absolutely incredible, which is of course what you expect on the street circuit, isn't it? And you can see that go a lot of understeer there for Jonathan off. Is it too wet for the intermediate tyres out here? We'll find out very soon then for Jonathan, but he's definitely rolling the dice out here. I think it's a good idea for Jonathan there, isn't it, at the moment? Just seeing what the track is like and then go from there really. So now he comes down into Lowe's hairpin and he's accelerating out a bit nicely, and you can see that's the slowest corner on the Formula 1 calendar, isn't it? Before coming into Portier now onto the this is where the intermediate tyres might come into their own, of course. Let's see what he can do then as he comes through the tunnel then, out of it now, and then he's dropping down then into second gear then. Oh, I think he's abandoning this up then. You can see he's turning the ERS right down then. So Jonathan now, I think the intermediate tyres, I think it was a good idea, definitely worth a go, isn't it? But but unfortunately for Jonathan there, it hasn't gone well at all. Then as you can see, he's skipping the swimming pool. Of course, there's a lot of track moderations around here about 2002, wasn't it? Because the barriers have been opened up slightly, haven't they? And of course, it's made the track slightly easier. Emerson going for it again then. So Emerson there, of course, and I think when you see wet weather qualifiers like this, I think it was Australia as well, a couple of times in Australia, where the guys just bought a set of wet tyres, put a lot of fuel in the car and just go round and round and round. It's all about confidence, isn't it, around here? And also, excuse me there, it's also But 3/10 was second up. Emerson might get into 24s there. Fantastic time indeed there for Emerson. Yeah, it's about confidence. Well, it's not only confidence around here at car 25, but it's also confidence in these wet weather conditions as well, isn't it? So you don't want to. So of course then, I think you just throw on a lot of fuel there, put on a set of wet tires and just go around and round and round and go quicker and quicker and quicker. Remember, the wet tires can disperse 60 litres of water, I think, per second or something like that. It's a ridiculous amount of water, and so yeah, these wet tires definitely do a lot of shifting, don't they? And of course, they disperse the water back up into the sky. There's a racing point in the background there of Nigel. Of course, Nigel at the moment is Emerson's closest challenger, albeit at 5 seconds, 5/10 of a second away at the moment. He flies over the curbs then, and now then he comes into the final couple of corners down and accelerates on the way then. What is Emerson doing? Good luck there for Emerson. Emerson going for his second pole position of his career. He had one in Japan. Is he going to get another one here in Monaco then? He is on the box seat. Has an incredible time. It's a 24.4 for Emerson. This is amazing time there for Emerson. My goodness me. He's in a different time zone. He's on a different track. He really is, isn't he? Oh no, he's really got in the groove, Emerson, hasn't he? I wonder, has he got time? He's got 2.5 minutes. I reckon that he would stay out there and do some harvesting before going back in the pits. We got Fisher as a 10th second. Farfoo's now starting to start. Got Granty out there coming down into the seafront chicane right now. Excuse me. And he's in the wall there. Granty has hit the left side corner, left rear corner there. The Williams there. That is not good then for Granty. Remember, he's 2 for 2 at the moment this season. We have, of course, 2 race wins, didn't he? And I think Granty's race speed has been scary, hasn't it? I gotta say, this man is incredible, isn't he? Since winning the season 2, he's really gone on to really show some stuff, hasn't he? Now, and a bit of a scrappy lap here for Granty, though, isn't it? He comes across the line now, and I think he's gonna have another go now, isn't he? So he is gonna have another go. Fisher's on pole position. He's done a cracking job. 24.2, 9.8 there for Fisher. He's 2 times in front of Emerson. My goodness me, that was a cracking lap there from Fisher. Wow, this man is on a mission, isn't he? I feel we have been robbed though. If Emerson's in the pits, then Emerson's in the pits. That's Emerson done. Emerson's done. What about Nigel? Nigel's not done. Then we got a minute to go. And what's Nigel going to do? He's at 24.4. He's not in the 24.10. He's improved his time by almost half a second. Half a second. But he hasn't got anywhere near the 24.10. Echo is ultra. Oh my goodness! Echo flying for there. What about Farf? Farf goes up to 4th position now in the Ferrari. That's quite a high. Farf who hasn't started high. Oh, that's a Ferrari. That's a Ferrari. That's his Forest teammate. That's Stringy, who's overcooked it into lows there. He's got 50 seconds to get to from here to the start finish straight. Might be it's going to be very difficult. Brandon's gone up into 6th position now. We got 44 seconds to go in this session. Fisher, I think, is going to be a very difficult man to beat. Oh, granted, there's 5 turns a second up there. That's not going to be good enough pole position, but that might be good enough. It would be good enough to get him into 7th position. Would it be good enough to get him into the Brandon's rage at the moment? He needs a mighty final sector here. Into the pits is Echo as well. Echo is in the pits there as well. Twang is saying last chance. It definitely is last chance. It's a last chance to do. Granty goes 5th fastest then. So Granty is up in the 5th end. He has time to finish his time if he wants to. Stringy hasn't. I think Stringy is coming in the pits, so Stringy is done. And Echo's retired from the session. Right, Jonathan coming to the line there. What does see Jonathan go? Jonathan is in Valdez time. It's all nothing now for Jonathan. Fisher is a 24.2 there for Fisher. Incredible stuff. Nigel 13 seconds off the pace then. What about Farfar is light as a feather now as he's coming into the final couple of corners and accelerates away the Ferrari drivers. This is the last quarter for Anthony Notes. Accelerates away. They're not taking too much curb. And this is it then. What does he do? He's in the 24th, is he? Yes, he is. Just about. He's in 3rd position. He's knocked Nigel down the 4th. Cracking time there from Farf. Brilliant stuff. And Granty there is 6 tenths of a second off. Brandon is off the pace. What about Steve? He goes into 7th fastest. Steve moves up into 7th on the 4th row of the grid then. Brilliant stuff. Granty, I think, is he was a couple of tenths off, and Brandon in the pits as well. Well, Granty is 2 seconds up according to that graphic there. but I wonder if he's skipped a half the part of the track then. So Jonathan and Fisher's free to, he's got to go in the 23, does he? No way! Here he comes in, look at him, this is all on Fisher now, he's got a 5-place grid penalty, which is such a shame there, and now he's coming through the final couple of corners. He didn't actually know that this is the last corner. Fisher there at the moment, then he's got provisional pole, he's going to be on pole position, I think. He is improved to a 24-2. Jonathan's in the pits, he is in 10th position. Fisher has taken pole position then for the Monaco Grand Prix. Unfortunately though, it's not officially a pole position because he has got a 5-place grid penalty, so we have been robbed of that, which is a bit of a shame really. So that's a shame though for Fisher, but my goodness me, because we've also been robbed of what would have been an absolutely epic battle between what would have been an absolutely incredible battle between Fisher and Emerson. I have no doubt about that, because look how close they were in the end. 2/10 second in the end, and Twang just saying how close was that for Jonathan. Absolutely mighty, wasn't it? I can't believe that Jonathan just about got through them. Unfortunately didn't get time in the end. So this is the man who was fastest in qualifying, but unfortunately that pole position is not his, as he will be starting 6th on the grid, I believe, with a 5-place grid penalty for his collision earlier on in the session. As far as I'm just telling Portuguese about that, but I'm sure he's seen it down the bottom. So the top 10 then is like this here in Monaco, and so pole position is Fisher, 2nd position is Emerson, 4th and 3rd with Nigel in 4th. 4th had a cracking lap at the end, then Granty 5th position with Echo in 6th. Steve Moon up to 7th position with Brandon in 8th position. 9th position is Stringy, and Jonathan didn't get a time in the end, did he? He was experimenting with the intermediate tyres, worth a shot, didn't get, but unfortunately didn't pay dividends then. And now we're getting onto the race, and it's coming up in just a few minutes time, and luckily for us, as it's been confirmed by Jonathan, we have a dry race here in Monaco. As Jonathan saying he hates the rain. As Fisher said, it's in the pole position, Ginger, just not starting there. So yeah, he was fastest on this day in history. Fisher was, and I've got to say, an incredible time. I didn't think Emerson's time was going to be beaten, but my goodness me, Fisher just came out of nowhere, didn't he? Incredible stuff there. Absolutely flew through that lap. We was on board with Emerson, and I got to say that was that was the ultimate adrenaline rush. I'd love to have seen Fisher's on board lap. Hopefully we can, and hopefully Fisher will show us some footage of that later on, because that was an absolutely immense qualifying. I just think it was going to be absolutely epic, out of this world. We've also got Toon saying you and me both in regards to the wet weather. Anyway, we're now just getting ready for the race then now, and it's great that all you guys are joining us. My goodness me, we got a lot of you watching us at the moment. Oh, I'm going to have to start wearing a suit and tie for this. It's just getting a bit formal now. Anyway, enough about that then. So as we get into the race then itself, this is going to be a long old race. This is there is at 30, I think it's 39 laps around here, isn't it? It's a lot of laps to complete then here in Monaco. It is 39 laps then, as we're just on board then with the man who is starting on pole position. It is Emerson, and we are now getting ready for the start of the Monaco Grand Prix. So then, let's go from front to back then here. No, yeah, it is from front to back, it is. My goodness. Right, and look at all those tyres, Stridey. We got a mix here tonight, and that is absolutely beautiful stuff. I've got to say, look, it's night and day from qualifying to the race. That is beautiful sunny skies out there. Absolutely lovely weather conditions. As we're coming down to Mirabel there, Matt saying, I hope you're wearing your hoodie on Woody? I hope you're wearing your hoodie on Thursday. Indeed I am. I'm really looking forward to that. Of course, I got to say, I've got an official dress code now for the RRC. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. Anyway, let's get back to the ALR League, shall we? And that is gold, and it is Emerson who is on pole position. He's on the medium compound tire. Alongside him is Far. That is a juicy front row, isn't it? That's brilliant stuff. I got to say, Far from Emerson, we've always been robbed of a battle between Far and Emerson. So I got to say, today I'm really looking forward to this. Nigel, season 1 champion, in 3rd position with Granty in 4th. He's gone for soft. That's unusual for Granty. He usually goes for the harder end of the spectrum, doesn't he? Echo in 5th position with Fisher in 6th. C in 7th position. Brandon 8th position. Stringy in 9th with Jonathan in 10th. He's the 2nd of the hard compound runners after 5. Sam, a cracking qualifying lap in 11th position. Grillsy in 12th. Toon in 13th position with Gooner 14th. Murphy is in 15th position. Laggy is 16th in the Mercedes. 17th is Young Lights, not France in the formation lap, nor is Far Shot either. And Van Doom is in 19th position. Then we got a lot of hard compound runners. There's soft tires for Granty, Brandon, Stringy, Toon, and of course Murphy as well. Oh, and I think Young Lugs. Someone had a 5-place group. I think it was Young Lugs, wasn't it? Medium tires then for Emerson, Nigel, and Echo, Fisher, Steve. I hope you're all getting this down. Sam and Gunnar, and everyone else is on the hard compound tire then. And hopefully I can get a better shot than this, but I can't, unfortunately, because I've gone into... Oh, there we go. So, here we go, then. We're going to have 5 sets of lights come on, then. When we go out, we'll be racing here in Monaco. We're just waiting for those lights to come on, and it's go! It is go, then. So, this time, no delay, then. We're straight into it. Emerson leads into turn 1. Oh, someone's gone into the back 4. We've got damage on the cars. We've got a damaged car. And then we got someone lost. Is everyone going through these... where they're going, I don't even know what I'm saying. And then they're going through... Stand up very well. And I've got to say, Van Doom is... lagging like a champion out there, isn't he? And you can see then Emerson leads them far for second. We got damage. Who's got damage? Granty's got damage. And Echo in 5th position. Fisher 6th. C in 7th position. Then we got to Stricken in first. They cut down to Lowell Terrapin now. Young Lights and Murphy going side by side. Yellow flag in 2. And there is a traffic jam there. There's a traffic jam. That's a whole front wing got off the Haas. That's a whole front wing got off fire shot. And Stringy in 9th position. Then Brandon. And then we got Sam who's in 11th position there. We got Laggy Racer. And oh no, this is gone appallingly badly. He's got hardly any front wing at all. It's Murphy there. I think Murphy's got a whole front wing, hasn't he? He has got a... No, he hasn't. He's damaged the end plate there. Laggy's got no end plates at all on this. And Fireshot is restarting it. And in the background is Van Doom as well, who has got a whole car at the moment then. Oh, 5-place grid penalty for Murphy for cutting the corner then. So I think that Murphy's damaged the whole wing then. And now coming through the complete lap 1 then, NCC then. So Emerson leads them by 1.5 seconds of the opening lap. My goodness me, this man is flying out that. Nigel's 3rd position, Granty in 4th position. Then we got a Q. Well, Granty's now starting to form a Q behind Echo and Fisher in 5th and 6th position. Steve in 7th position, Stringy up to 8th position. 9th position is Brandon, Grillsy in 10th position. Then we got Jonathan who's down in 12th position. Jonathan is dropped down 12 positions. Sam has dropped down 5 positions there, so not good to start at all for Sam then. And apart from that, it's almost status quo then as we complete lap 1 here in Monaco. Echo is dropped down into 5th. Fisher has moved up to 5th position there. Wow, I think he had a go down there, but look, Nigel's over the back of 5th on the hard compound tire then. This is very interesting stuff, isn't it? It's as we're looking to see what's occurring there up and down the field. Nigel is going up the inside. Oh no! There was contact. Granty's having to take evasive action, and as they come into the front chicane now, it's damage on Nigel's racing point. Oh dear! He tried to force the issue there, going down into the and yellow flag in 2. We've got yellow flag in 2. Is just taking a look to see what's going on in 2. I think it's Young Lights, is it? Oh, it is. Well, I think Young Lights is just recovering, and in the C front chicane then. We're just taking a look up and down there. We've got Granty who's in the pits. And Granty then that has not gone at all. Well, as if for Granty, remember the man who's won 2 out of 2. He is dropping down the order. Though Fisher's been released up in the 4th position. Then Fisher has and as he comes out of Stand of Nigel is now going to have almighty understeer, isn't he? Steve is out of the 6th position, and this is survival of the fittest here at the Monaco Grand Prix. It is going to be an absolutely frantic start. It's been an absolutely frantic start to this Monaco Grand Prix. Steve's doing a cracking job out there, isn't he, in the Haas? Absolutely fantastic stuff. Brandon there in 8th position at the moment. He comes out as a Mirabo. We've got Grills in 9th position. Toon is in 10th position as well. Jonathan there 11th position there. He's got all his pieces pointing in the right direction, and that is good stuff indeed. Fireshot has gone short to the back of lag quite quickly, hasn't he? And just taking a look then as Sam back in the pits, and so Sam unfortunately is not having a good start into this Monaco Grand Prix. Had an epic qualifying, knocked down 2 hours. Nigel there is once again all over the back of Farf is now 4 seconds back. We've got a bit of a queue behind Farf now. Whilst Emerson is wandering away. Yellow flag in 2. What's going on in 2? Just taking a quick look then. It's a recover. I'm not sure who was what the issue was there. I got to say we've got to be very quick on the we've got to be very quick on the old director tonight, haven't we? Because there's going to be action all over the show here. Now then, we've got DRS enabled then here in Monaco. How powerful is it? Not that powerful, but it still gives the drivers enough to get within range. So Nigel there, I got to say, remember the winner in that last season's race is very good. Oh no, Gunnar's lost the front wing there. Gunnar has got a front wing problem there for the racing point now, and it's a lot of damage that Gunnar's going to have to go in the pits. Fireshot is out of the race then, and Fireshot there, I got to say, Fireshot, I think that might be 3 for 3, isn't it? And
No, of course, he got a point in China, but unfortunately, Farshot starts the season hasn't been very good at all, has it? And he is now out of the race then already. 5 seconds the gap is then. Look at this, we've got a big old queue now forming beyond Farf then. Farf is the cork in the ball here. It is Nigel, and then we got Fisher now and Echo. They're also keeping tabs as well. Look at this, just having I thought he's going defence there. He's not going defence at all then. As they go over and they see French chicane accelerate out of it, coming up to the back now. This is the closest battle on track moment, but Jonathan is out all at the back of Toon as well. It's Jonathan on the hard tires. He's going for the long game. So it's Farf as well, because remember, Emerson's on the medium tire. We think it's going to be one stop, medium to hard tires, I think, but do not quote me on that, because I'm never right about strategy. Coming through coming out of Mirabel there, and a far shot left session then, so far shot quickly is unfortunately out of the race fairly quickly then for the Haas drive. That's such a shame there for far shot, isn't it? Because of course Farshot just had a pretty oh, Nigel in the wall, and he's damaged that end plate. Fisher's trying to squeeze on the outside there, wasn't he, as he's going up the hill now into the casino square then. There is Jonathan, there is all over the back of a Tunis. They come up the hill then, of course, then you could have an absolutely you can have a car which is 5 seconds quicker than the car in front. Around here there's a big difference. Remember 92 Monaco between Mansell and Senna. Oh, Tunis got in the wall, and Jonathan has taken 10th position away from Toon now, and Toon has damaged the car then, so he's got to have some understeer now, isn't he, in the Toro Rosso. The Murphy there is now defending from Laggy Racer in 16th position, 15th, 16th position at the moment. Anyway, now the gap's up to 6 seconds then. And look at this, Fisher is now all... Oh, that's a Haas in the background, I'll stay in the background, he's pointed the wrong way. Oh, now it's Gross has gone through him there. And that's Steve there, he's damaged the car as well, so he's just... he's doing a very good job actually to keep out of everyone's way there. Unfortunately, Steve then, he was having a cracking race up to that point there, and Fisher is through! Fisher is through, he's part... Nigel's in the pits, and Fisher's been released and is up in the second position now. He is a man possessed today, isn't he? 7.4 seconds of gap between Emerson and Farf at the front. Fisher is third. Echo is 4th position. Stringy is up to 5th. Brandon up to 6th. Grill's up to 7th. Nigel there. Look at this. They're repairing the car now. Now he's getting on set up. That's a medium compound tires out for the racing point. He's in and out. And he's oh, and there's also Toon Fan coming out of the pits as well. He's what tires is Toon Fan going to go on then? Toro also is going to work there, and they're just replacing the front wing. And lovely shot here of the rear Jackman, absolutely beautiful stuff, isn't it? And Granty there, you can see the man who was within the facility of actually Nigel earlier on the race, but well, now he's back up. He's on the hard tires. Granty. The question is, how long is his hard tires going to go? Can it go for the whole race? That would be a very mighty effort, wouldn't it? And now hopefully we're going to set into a rhythm now. I've got to say, Laggy Race has got some speed around here at the moment. Murphy really struggling, isn't he? And down in 15th position. Remember, the man who finished 4th last season, season 2, is on a bit of a tough start here in season 3, as of course remember I think the second half of the season he was a lot more stronger, wasn't he, in the second half of the season, Murphy was, but unfortunately he's not gone well from this season. Also, Nigel, of course, last year's race winner, is down in 12th position. Mount Emerson there is currently 8 seconds in front. Fisher set the fast on the race. He's got some speed under him in the Toro Rosso, as we're on board with Farf. Of course, Farf, a 3-time race winner in ALR. I think Fisher is I think he's a 4-time race winner, isn't he, in the in ALR. Of course, Emerson, I think, is 5-time race winner. Isn't it? If he wins tonight, Emerson he will be joint top most successful driver in ALR history with 6 wins with Nigel. That's incredible, isn't it? Nigel's got a 3-second penalty at the moment as it stands. It's battle for second position. Now the gap's up to 9.2 seconds. I got to say that Emerson's pulling out such a commander lead over Farf at the moment, isn't he? Remember, this is a long old race, though, isn't it? As Farf has just gone to defensive. Fish's gone the outside. Where's no? They've made contact there. They've made contact, and Farf is if they had any damage though, take a look. Farf is there. All the pieces are still pulling in the right direction there. As Granty has got by Van Doomnen, has dropped down to 12th position, making his debut in the Williams there. 5-second penalty there for Sam as he's back in the pits there. Unfortunately for Sam, this is very much a rhythm track, isn't it? And really, Sam is trying to get into a rhythm there in the McLaren, isn't he? But if he keeps going, but of course the important thing is just to keep going around here, isn't it? Because yeah, it's because you just got to get in a rhythm, really, aren't you? And you should be all right. Just taking a look at the back, taking a look back here, and it is the battle for
15th and 16th position, which is Dan and Laggy at the moment. We're on board with Laggy at the moment. It's Dan. Oh, both of them cutting the C-French chicane, which is a bit harsh there I feel, as they come into the back, and Murphy all over the Murphy all over the back at the moment. Farf is now dropped into the clutches of Echo as well. So Murphy really struggling there, isn't he? It's look at this Laggy's having a look there. Oh, they've made contact, and he's just pushing him along there, isn't he? As they come through, Anthony knows that Brandon's got a 3-second penalty as well. These penalties are starting to rack up in it for these drivers out there. Brandon is now within 6/10, well, he's within a second, I should say, of Stringy at the moment. That's about 5 or 6. Stringy having a cracking race out there, isn't it? Fisher, the gap is down to 8.4 seconds at the moment, isn't it? So that is the battle for lead, and I've completely, sorry guys, I've completely ignored you in the old comment section there, isn't it? As we've just got Twang saying how many down front wings. We have also got Harry saying what was Cox doing at that hairpin, and we've also got about time Grant gets someone to race for. And again they're going very Fisher set the fast on the race again. I gotta say Fisher since the 5-place grid penalty in qualifying, he has really stepped up a notch on these. So talking of stepping up a notch is actually Brandon. He is now all over the back of the Ferrari driver, Stringy, and I gotta say now this is a test. Now this is gonna be a test for Emerson, isn't it? As Emerson is now going to be under the caution. He was wandering away from this race. Yellow flag in two. What's occurring in two? Oh, is that Gunnar? It's Gunnar who's become a ghost, and that's not good at all for Gunnar. I think he was the yellow flag. We got Van Doom who's in the pits as well. Anyway, back to this battle here, and we've got 30 more laps around here. This is a race with probably almost the most laps. I think it might be the most laps actually in the season. 3-second penalty there for two. Penalties are going to come back. It's not just about surviving Monaco; it's also about penalties as well. And I think that there's going to be a lot of position changes, isn't it, at the end of this race? I can assure you of that in terms of penalties and things like that. Accelerating out the C-French chicane now then. Emerson's now got a gap of 8.6 seconds. It was up to 9 seconds. So in the last 2 laps there, Fisher's overtaken Farf. He has already gained a second out of Emerson there. So is that going to rock Emerson? Well, we'll find out in this race, because this is going to be a very, very tense affair, isn't it? I have no doubt about that. DRS enabled, then Sam got a 3-second penalty then. On board then is another yellow flag in 2. Just taking a look, see what's occurring again. We got Gunnar in the pits and just taking a look, see what's going on out there. We've got Nigel who's all over the back of Young Lights at the moment. And of course Nigel coming back from the field. Young Lights there just drifting to the left hand side, back on board then with Nigel. As look at that, we've got a Q, because I think that's Steve in front of us as well. And I think that's a McLaren. I think it's Sam who's in the McLaren end, because there's only one McLaren here tonight. Unfortunately, with no Mr. Elite then. So as you can see then, and look at this, Nigel just going on to the back of Young Lights. And a yellow flag in one is Gunnar's retired from the session then. Gunnar's retired from the session. Murphy is back in the pits as well. Unfortunately for Gunnar then, so it's not going well at all. Murphy has retired from the session as well. I think that Murphy was having some issues of some kind, because he was just well off the pace, wasn't he, in the Renault? So unfortunately for Gunnar and Murphy. Let's just take a look at the stats there for both drivers. Gunnar, as of course he did finish in China, but Murphy had a bit of a miserable start to the season. He got a very good position in China, but then it's a Nigel going right onto the back there as the Young Lights run back on board then with Nigel, and then you can see yellow flags in 3. What's going on in 3? There's yellow flags all over the show at the moment. Sam is ghosted at the moment, so I'm not sure where. I think Sam might have gone off as well. Young Lights is under almighty pressure at the moment. There's Steve in the foreground. I think Steve hasn't pitted yet, has he? Because he damaged his front wing, didn't he? So it's not good at all for Steve at the moment. He's just dropping back now into the battle between Young Lights and Nigel. Grant, he's 8 seconds back at the moment. Yellow flag in 1 and 2, and wow, there's yellow flags all over the show at the moment, isn't there? And who is that? And that is Gunnar, that 3-second penalty then for Van Doom as well. What is going on out there? I don't know what's going on out there. And look at this. Young Lights is retired from the session. Young Lights is out. He's gone. I think it's coming through Casino Square. Safety car. This is what was. That's a big old smasher for Young Lights. What a shame there from the Red Bull driver out of the race then. And there's a safety car here on lap 11. And my goodness me, that's going to throw strategy into disarray here, isn't it? This is going. As a Mercedes mechanics are not ready. They're not ready. It was that a 5-second penalty. I'm not sure, but Emerson, he should have enough time to come in and back out. But that is Yeah, technically that's no penalty at all if it was a penalty there. Into the pits there comes the Toro Rosso team, and you can see they're now just getting to work as well, and they're in and out then. And so Emerson in the pits then, Fisher's in the pits as well, Farf is in the pits then, so everyone is coming into the pits then. Hard tyres for Echo, for Fisher, for Farf. Jonathan is staying out of the pits at the moment. Where is he? He's now up in the third position, Jonathan is then, and I'm wondering, this might be a bold move there from Jonathan, because now he will have almost certainly fresh air, won't he? So fresh air, clear air, because of course then he shouldn't be involved in any traffic, and he's on the hard tyres, isn't he? I think it was a no-brainer there for Jonathan. Nigel in 6th position, and he of course he's only recently pitted out, so Nigel moving at 6th position. Granty is in the pits then, and he is, so this is an interesting move from Granty. Granty's already stopped, hasn't he? And he's gone on to the medium compound tyre, and they're in and out there. Williams there doing a cracking job there as always. Steve there also coming out as well, so getting his wing change there for Steve. I think that worked well for Steve actually, didn't it? Tune in the pits as well. So Tune there also changed his front wing in the Toro Rosso. He's on the hard compound tyre, and he should be out as well. Grillsy there is a move back up to 11th position at the moment. You can see that this track is not really, a lot of drivers don't really like this track, do they? And it's been shown here tonight we've lost 4 drivers there in 12 laps, which I got to say it's an absolutely fantastic achievement out there. We've lost far shot. As Van Doom there's speeding in the pit lane there, so not good day there for the debutant moment, Van Doom. So Laggy there in 30th position there. He's made a stop already then, so we're on board there with Van Doom. He is in the pits then for the Williams team, and he is putting on a set of I think that's hard tyres, isn't it? It is hard tyres, and he should be out. I think unless Williams just want to talk to him about something, I don't know. Now he comes out now, and also Sam there, who is still in the race, I think he is. So Sam is back on the 400 as well, and this is going to help Sam, isn't it? So safety cars come out then. So let's take stock of what's going on in this race then. So this is really going to shake things up, isn't it? In terms of the what's occurring then in this race then. And I got to say then the strategies they're all over the show now, aren't they? Question is, can the hard tyres get from lap 13 to 39? That is going to be an almighty task, isn't it? So, classification then, the standards as we go into this Monaco Grand Prix then is like this. Emerson at the moment is leading the race with Fisher now up to second. He started 6th, he's up to second. An incredible first stint now from Fisher. Jonathan has now moved up to third position. He dropped down as low as 12th, didn't he, on the opening lap? The Alfa Romeo back up to third position now. We got Granty who's coming back in the pits again, so I think Granty's just rolling the dice there, unless he's damaged his car. So he's coming back in the pits. So let's take a look, see what Granty's doing. Well, he's in and out now. He's on the soft compound tyres, Granty is, and well, he's got an interesting combination there. He's got medium tyre on the front and soft tyre on the back there. So that is not loud. Anyway, Echo in 4th position, and both Alfa Romeos are once again doing a very good job, aren't they? So Echo doing a cracking job in 4th position. Remember, this is Echo's 5th race in ALR. In his previous 4, he's had 2 podiums. So really, he's got a 50% strike rate. Echo, that's fantastic stuff. Far from 5th position at the moment in the Ferrari. 6th is Nigel. 7th position is Brandon. 8th is Stringy. Steve in 9th position. 10th position is Grillsy. Outside the points moment is Toon in 11th position. We got Laggy in 12th position. Granty, the championship leader, and also the defending champion, in 13th position. Sam in 14th position, and Van Doom in 15th position. And that is the final. That is the classification as it stands here in the Monaco Grand Prix. Then, and wow. Incredible stuff. So people who haven't stopped at the moment then. So Jonathan hasn't stopped then. So he's the only man not stopping the whole field so far. So Jonathan there is on the hard tyres, and he's going to go an awfully long way in this race. The question is, the guys at the front are going to go for the how long are they going to be able to get to the end? I got to say that there's one key thing about Monaco. Track position is king. So you don't want to tyres might be quicker, but it's all about track position here. So I'd rather probably race around on very, very degraded tyres rather than being behind someone, as we mentioned already about the 92. Oh my goodness, is Fisher going to the back of Emerson there? We was just watching over at camera. We're on board with Fisher. Let's see. Well, you need a good shot of the front wing, then hopefully we can see the shot of the front wing. He's weaving viciously there, Fisher is, but I'm wondering if let's take a look. Let's see. I think he's all right. I think Fisher is all right then, so he is. He might have had a lucky escape there, but blimey, I think that did test Fisher's reactions there, didn't he? Because that would have not been that was not ideal at all, was it? As they come through, he's okay, he's okay. We got to LH44 saying hi, Sean. Hi, LH. Hope you're doing very well tonight here As I hope you're all enjoying this race. And of course, then we're behind the safety car. This is going to extend the race length, isn't it? Of course, we have 39 laps around here. We're on lap 14. We haven't even hit half distance yet, have we? So it's still a long way to go for the guys. And they're just weaving by foes. There's a Mercedes in the background. Laggy, that's 12th position there. You can see the field spread even beyond the safety car. Laggy was just coming down to see front chicane whilst safety car is in at the end of that. There is Bert Mylander. He is coming back in the pits now. Emerson, Fisher, Jonathan. This is an incredible caliber of drivers out there. All going to be battling away then. Who is going to 5-second penalty there for Sam, and Grant has gone into the back of Granty there. That is not good. And now, when is Emerson going to release the cars then? When is he going to release it? Is he going now? He is going now. We got a 5-second penalty there also for Toon Fan for the back of Grillsy. And now the safety car period is over. We're back racing here in Monaco. We're on lap 15 out of 39, then flies through Sander Vault then. Fisher second, third position is Jonathan Echo, fourth, Nigel, new F1 Stringy. And then we got Steve, Grillsy, Toon, who's damaged the car there, who's gone to the back of Grillsy, Laggy. Then we got Granty, Sam, and Van Doom there. That is the 15 cars that is racing around here at the moment then. And Emerson's had an absolutely perfect start at the moment. He's moved. He got in front of he pulled out a 8/10 of a second gap over Fisher, but of course now Fisher now wonder if he's going to reel in the safety car. We didn't even mention the safety car. It's absolutely appalling. It was absolutely not good at all for Emerson at all, was it? Because he had an 8-second gap, didn't he, over Fisher? Now it's been reduced considerably, and now Fisher's going to be very much on the march. He had the pace over Emerson on the medium compound tyre. Let's see what he's going to do on the hard compound tyre. He's got medium on there, but I think the graphics does say soft, so I think we've got to go with the graphic there, haven't we? Echo's being pushed, isn't he, between in the where am I saying, these swimming pool then, and there's a bit of a queue behind Echo at the moment, isn't it? Echo's just trying to get his tyres up to temperature. Farf is on medium tyres, so is Nigel, so is Brandon, and so is String as well then. So those guys are really very much pushing Echo all the way down. Echo is going to go to the fence, and no DRS yet. We've got to wait 3 laps for the DRS. Echo at the moment has kept his advantage just a moment as they come down to the Sander Vault, but Farf is weaving this. Farf is weaving this way and that way, but Echo is going to stand firm. Look at that, there's left for a 10th of a second going up the hill then. Now coming into the Casino Square again then. As they're coming down then into coming down to Mirabel then, and Farf pushing him. Oh, he's going out. Look on the inside, is he? Not quite at all then. And they come into Lowe's Airport. Look at that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars then in this battle for fourth position there. Jonathan has got a 2-second gap. I wonder if Alfa Romeos might be playing a bit of teamsmanship here. He's trying to open up so Jonathan can get a decent advantage. The gap of the front is still second at the moment, and this is a cracking old battle here, isn't it? And this might be the story of the race then, of course. Then I wonder how long those medium tyres are going to go for. Nigel's done 10 laps on those medium tyres, so he's going to come out in the pits as well. Laggy and oh, Granty, as Granty's got 3 soft tyres and 3 medium tyres and 1 soft tyre. So it's a free ticket penalty there for Farfa and for Toon Fan as well. Granty's up into 12th position. He's got past the Mercedes tyres off. Fisher sets the fast lap of the race then on lap 17. An incredible start then. 5/10 of a second to go as well. Granty is Toon Fan is out of the race then, so Toon Fan's had enough for this brutal Grand Prix at the moment, isn't it? Because they come up the hill once again and look at them, and look, there's a Haas and a Red Bull also charging up the hill as well. Yellow flying free, that is for Toon Fan. That's the Toro also out of the race, unfortunately, so we're down to 14 cars there. Of course, if you finish, you will get points around here, and that is exactly what some of these drivers probably want to do, isn't it? To get points. Granty, I think it's on the soft tyres according to the graphics. It does look like he's I don't know, mix and match there. There's a Toon is just said there. Sorry, Tuan has just said that Dan told me he had 2 wings on by accident, so that's why lack of pace and strategy was completely wrong. Far down and look up the inside. Echo is not budging, he's not moving, is he? He's trying to go on the outside. Look at him, he's got so much more pace. Echo is on the inside into the back. No, it's the Farf is on the outside then. Echo there is just defending his position for all he's worth then. And they come into the swim pool now. This is getting very tense indeed. Can Echo repel the attack then? He's just got to keep the car in the right position. Oh, he's got a bit deep there as the
as they come into anti-nodes then, whereas they come through then to complete lap at 17, and Van Dumen's got a penalty there, 3-second penalty. These penalties going to really add up then. What are they going then? It's coming to stand for Echo still has the advantage at the moment then as they fly through turn 1 then. This is incredible, isn't it? As you can see, they fly up the hill then. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in shot then. And they come, now they're coming down into Casino Square then. The gap between Echo and Jonathan is 3.4 seconds. The gap between Jonathan and Fisher is 3.7 seconds. Emerson is now keeping Fisher at bay at the moment, isn't he? Fisher was looking quite quick, wasn't he, just before the safety car, and but now Emerson seems to have picked up the pace there, hasn't he? So that could be a race on battle. Of course, I think it was Grad who said that it's going to be between Fisher and Emerson for the battle for the Monaco Grand Prix. And he has proved exactly right. Jonathan there in third position there. He is 3.2 seconds. Well, it's 3.1 seconds behind Echo now, isn't he? And he really, I think he's probably liking the fact that Echo's really a bit of a roadblock before far for the moment, isn't he? And the gap of this battle there extends right down to the second Ferrari of Stringy. Steve and Grillsy are also mixed in a battle as well for 9th and 10th. Steve is very close to this battle as well. He was in DRS, but I think he dropped out of it. Must have made a mistake there in the second part of the lap then. Back on board then. Look who's in the back of there. There's Nigel. Remember Nigel, who won this race last year. Of course, that was his final race win of his ALR career as it stands at the moment. Now Fisher's really started to turn the heat once again on Emerson. Is back under a second once again. Then they fly through and into Casino Square. And there they are again. Look at this Echo. There's a Renault in the background. That's Brandon there. Of course, Brandon last drove in the Renault. He had an incredible race win, didn't he, in Abu Dhabi? A completely different track from Monaco, from Abu Dhabi. This Monaco Grand Prix is a very unique track, isn't it? Favre climbing over the curb then, and now they drop down into Portier, and then they come into the tunnel, don't they? Through Portier now then, as they fly past the bar. It's fantastic stuff, isn't it? Far once again all over the back, man. I gotta say, John, as a Grillsy has got by, Steve there somehow. Far, tap in the back there, and tap in the back again. We got a bit of, we got a ghost there going on there with Echo. Is that Farfar's having a look, but not quite. No damage then, so well done, guys. Was that damage there? I don't know, was that a bit of something flying up on the camera there? Farfar's basically one of the same car, and they're joined, and you can't even get anything between them at the moment. Less than a sheet of paper, as Favre's really putting the pressure on Echo, isn't he? He is on medium tires, remember. He does have a pace advantage at the moment. Echo is not going to let him through at any stage at the moment. Fisher is now all over the back. That's debris. That is debris of someone, isn't it? I'm not sure if that was or not, but I've seen something. Maybe I'm just seeing things, perhaps. And now then, we got Nigel, who wants to be involved in this fight as well. This is an incredible battle here in Monaco. And this is what you expect in Monaco. This is where the frustrations really have to keep a calm head, don't you, as they come down into Mirabeau again. And that's something what I'm not doing at the moment. 19 laps to go, everyone, in this incredible Monaco Grand Prix. As they come through Lowe's hairpin, then at 7/10 of a second, the gap is at the moment from first to second. We've got four. So Jonathan's now. The gap is far. Did he go in the wall? He did go in the wall, but he's again, his car is still fine. A couple of glancing blows out there at the moment, didn't they? As they come down into the front chicane. Then he's just pushing him out there. And then did Echo go in the wall? And look at them, they're all swirling all over him. And then Favre is up into fourth position there. Echo is dropping down to fifth position. Damn it, he's got end plate damage. So I think, Nigel there. Oh my goodness me, he was just floating through these floating through the swimming pool section there. Echo has got damage there, but remember, he has to be passed, doesn't he? Of course, around here, look at that cube behind him there. That's a crack. That's a good old school trolley train, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic, isn't it? As they come down, and Farfar has now been released, and he's already gained a second over Echo. As Echo is really struggling, isn't he, for turning now because of that damage there. So now Granty's moved up to the back of this battle as well. Granty is now all over the back of Steve in 11th and 10th position then. 14 cars remain then out of the 19 that started around here. Absolutely incredible battle, and it's an all-out battle around here, isn't it? And look at that, they're all just piling up, queuing up behind each other and into the Lowe's airport. Of course, the slowest corner on the Formula 1 calendar, and I gotta say, hats off to all these drivers out there for really driving a superb race out there, isn't it? They've done 21 laps around Monaco, only 5 retirements. That is impressive in of itself. It really is. 0.2 of a second, the gap is at the front between Emerson and Fisher. I can't take my eyes off this battle. This has been an incredible battle out there. Really splendid stuff out. Sam's got a 3-second penalty. Sam now is keeping going, and so he shows why he's not far away from the points at the moment. He's not far away from Laggy as well. As I take a quick breather, and as we come through there to complete lap 21, look, Farfar in the Ferrari there is just pulling the win out, back on board with Nigel in the racing point. As you can see, he's got DRS, and he's got DRS assistance going into turn 1 there to go into standing 4. Look how close it is. It is incredible. This is a game of inches then, isn't it? As they come up the hill once again, and once again there, Echo there parks his car beautifully well in the middle of the track there. You're a very brave man if you try and overtake on that hill, though, I got to say. It's never gone too well for me, I must admit. Farfar is still 1.5 seconds back. Then Jonathan is 5 seconds in front of Farfar. He needs to extend that gap as much as possible because Jonathan has to come into the pits. No one else needs to come into the pits as far as I'm aware. So Jonathan does need to come in and change tyres. And I'm wondering, what is he aiming for? Is he going to aim to go on the medium tyres, or is he going to try and go on the soft tyres? He might be playing it as he goes along here. Jonathan might be. Might just see how the medium tyres go, and then decide from there whether to go into the medium tyres or the soft tyres to the end. As I gotta say, the track around here is not too harsh on the tyres, is it? Not as harsh as what Fisher's being harsh on Emerson at the moment. So then it's between Fisher and Emerson, two ALR greats at the moment in terms of stats and also in terms of being incredible drivers, and they are doing an incredible battle here in Monaco. Fisher, of course, having a bit of a difficult start to his season 3. Emerson's been very consistent, hasn't he, in his second season? Is being remember, this might pay dividends later on. Granty is back in the pits, and so Grant at the moment, the championship leader, is not getting any points at the moment. The man who's won 2 for 2 is at the moment down in 14th and last as it stands here in the Monaco Grand Prix. Incredible stuff then. And now as Nigel, we've been on board with Nigel for almost a lap now, is an incredible oh, look at that, he's trying to go on the inside there. Battle at the front is incredibly close. Fisher going to go on the inside, down the outside I should say, but Emerson repels the attack there. He keeps the lead at the moment as they come out of the C front chicane, and Fisher dropped back to half a second, but he will be back. He will be back. I've got to say with Fisher there, isn't it? He's a man that just keeps coming at you, don't you? Back on board then with the Toro Rosso driver as oh, this is a battle for the lead, isn't it? Meet hard tire. They're both on the same strategy. This is it then. Who is going to be quickest on this day in history here in Monaco? That is the question. At the moment, it's Emerson who has the advantage. It's Fisher who has the quicker car, I feel, at this stage. Emerson has got an almighty long way to go around here. We see running on lap 24 out of 20. Out of 39. So it's into the pits comes Grillsy. So Grillsy also rolling the dice as well. Granty is on medium tyres now. That should get him to the end of the race. What tyres is Grillsy going to go on then? So Grillsy then feels that this little opportunity time to come in the pits and go on. And he's only done 6 seconds on the he's only done 6 laps on those hard tyres. Those hard tyres can go a lot longer than that. I mean, Jonathan's done 23 laps on those hard tyres. So it's definitely a strategy call there from Grillsy then as they come down to Mirabo once again then. See, that queue is getting smaller and smaller, isn't it? Stringy is still the 8th car in this battle. Steve has dropped off the back slightly, hasn't he, in the Haas, and Laggy is now in 10th position, and on his return back to ALR, he is in 10th position, isn't he? Of course, he missed last race, but he's back here with vengeance, isn't he? And he did not have a very good first race, but he is now within the points at the moment. Can he stay there? He's got a 5-second deficit between South and Steve in the 9th position, and Steve has got a 2-second deficit between South and Stringy then. Echo has now started to kind of find his feet again now, hasn't he? Come through the swim pool once again. Oh, what's that contact? That was a bit of contact, I gotta say. Now Nigel's trying to get all the way back in, but did Nigel damage the car? He has damaged the car, and he's lost the end plate as well. And Nigel's in the pits then. Nigel is in the pits then. This is not good at all then from Nigel's point of view then. So he's in the pits and he's done 18 laps on the medium tyres. I wonder if he was planning on staying out or coming in. Anyway, well, we'll find out now. He is in the pits then. He's on the soft compound tyre, so Nigel's going to light up the time sheet, isn't he? They're dropping like flies out there, aren't they, in this battle for 5th position? I think that's what Echo really wants, really. But now he's got a new attacker, hasn't he? Granty has set the fastest up for the race, hasn't he? Remember, you get a bonus point. Oh, a bonus point, an extra point there for fast. Oh, Stringy there getting a bit wide into Mirabo there, and now they come down to the Lowe's hairpin then. Stringy there going almost overshooting there. Did he get around? He got around fine now, Stringy did. But that definitely would have woke him up a bit, I think, as he narrowly avoided the back of Brandon Brandon's car. Brandon in the Renault then, and he is now 4 tenths of a second away from 5th position, and there is 5th position right in front of us then. It seems like that they've just keep coming and going here at the moment. Steve is actually 6 tenths of a second, so Steve is just there he is in the background, and the Haas there in 8th position then. Laggy 9th, 10th position is Granty. Then we've got Nigel now, who's in 11th position. He's on the soft tire, so expect him to fly. Grillsy in 12th position. He's on he's on 7 lap old hard tyres, so I wonder if Grillsy's run out of new tyres then perhaps, because we did see him come in the pits there. I don't think he had a drive through. I don't think he had a drive through anyway, unless I've missed something. I probably have. I might have done a Chris Kamara there, because remember Chris Kamara missed the sending off back when the I think it was a Portsmouth game, wasn't it? So I might have done that, but I don't think Grillsy had a penalty, a drive through penalty. I think he was just coming back in perhaps. Maybe not then. As we've also got Brandon to get Twan said Brandon to get those places when the others haven't made their mistakes. Exactly right, isn't it? Brandon there is just basically that's what you got to do. Just got to keep it on the island, don't you? Nigel of course went to the back of Echo. Fisher's got a 3-second penalty, so is Grills as well. Steve is now another man there is just picking his spots in the house there. Stringy has dropped off the back of this battle here, and now this is a good opportunity there for Steve to really strike whilst Iron's hot. 6.2 seconds to gap is now, and whoa, we've lost Grillsy. We have lost Grillsy. Then we're on board then with Sam. Where's Grillsy gone? I'm thinking it's at Casino Square. Casino Square is claimed a I think he claimed the other Red Bull driver, didn't it? It did, and Grillsy there is the same place where Martin Brundle spun off in '96. So that is a shame now. And Stringy is retired from the session. Stringy's gone. Stringy is out of the race then. That's huge blow. Into the pits there comes Fisher. There's all kinds of drama going on. Oh, that's into the back. That is into the back. He's right in the middle of the car. Right in the middle of the race. That Stringy is. Wow, that. If that's not a safety car, what is a safety car? Into the pits comes Fisher. Fisher's in the pits then. So look, that Steve is now come out in sixth position. Fisher's down to 7th. What is going on here? And did Fisher have a problem there? But the gap is up to 11 seconds now between himself. Between Emerson and Jonathan. Fisher's had to come in the pits. Nigel set the fast on the race. He's in 10th position. Sam just outside the points in 11th. We have Austrian Grillsy in quick succession here in this Monaco Grand Prix. Down to 12 out of 19 that started around here. I think that they'll be happy to get rid of this, get this race out of the way, because it has been a brutal old Monaco Grand Prix, hasn't it? Granty is now second behind the Laggy at the moment. Look at this. Who is that? That's Steve there, who's letting Fisher by, I think. I wonder if Steve there is. Well, that's I think into the pits comes Emerson. So Emerson, I think it's just responding to Fisher, isn't it? So he's coming in the pits. He's in and out, and Jonathan will take the lead. I think he will take the lead. Will he? And I think Emerson does have enough advantage to get out in front of Farr, because Jonathan will be coming across the line now. He has come across the line. He takes the lead. He has to stop there. What about Farr? Farr. Here is Farr. Where's Emerson? There's Emerson. There's Farr. Is he enough? I think it's enough. It is enough. Just about. Emerson's timed that to perfection, and he gets out back in front of Farr, and he is still in second position. Then Farr is third, and then Echo and Brandon and Fisher now battling for 4th, 5th, and 6th. What a shame for Stringy and Grillsy, especially Stringy though. Of course, Grillsy was outside the points at the moment at the time when he retired, but Stringy was in a good battle for 7th and 8th position. What a shame there for Stringy. Oh, and look, Brandon, I'm not saying Brandon there. So Brandon's dropping down the order, and Fisher is. I think Fisher's waiting for oh dear, what's going on here? I think he's waiting for Brandon to come back out. I think Fisher must have had a wild lunge down at Mirabel, and it's forced Brandon wide. And now Steve has moved up into 5th position because of all those shenanigans going on. So Steve is now in the 5th, and he is doing a cracking job out there. Of course, the Steve fan club would be absolutely overjoyed, I think, that Fisher's Monaco Grand Prix is turned to a stuff of nightmares at the moment. Jonathan leads there, but he hasn't stopped as it stands at the moment. So it's yeah, I think Jonathan there needs to. I think he should be able to get onto the soft compound tyres, and here he is. The race leader is in the pits. Then we got so that's the Williams team mechanics there. Van Doom is out of the race then. So the debutant there is retired there from a 12th position there. Echo is through. Where's Jonathan going to come out in front? Where is he? There he is. He's going out of the pits now. Steve is through. Is Fisher through? Fisher is yellow flag and 1, and there's a ghost car just coming on the track now. And what's going on? It would.
Oh, and I'm not sure what has gone on. Well, what has gone on? I don't know. It's been incredible stuff. Jonathan is out in 4th position. He's on the medium combat time. Supposed to go on the soft, Jonathan, didn't it? But I think he's gone for bout and braces kind of thing. But he's now all over the back of Steve. Steve's up in the 4th position. Incredible stuff. Echo is 3rd. Farf is 2nd. And the 1st position is Emerson at the moment. We got Fisher at 6th. Grant is 7th. Sam is in 8th position with Brandon down in 9th position. And Laggy is coming in the pits as well. Yellow flag in 2. What's going on in 2? Just taking a look there. Nothing, I don't think it. No, I think it must be the ghost car or something. But there is a lot of things going on. Oh no! And Fisher came steaming in there, and he has damaged the car, and that is a lot of damage on the Toro Rosso Fisherman, who had so much pace here today, and really should have got pole position, but had a 5-place group penalty, and now it's gone all wrong for Fisher, hasn't it? 2 minutes left the session there. Granty is now up into 6th position. Fisher is just letting people by then. I think he's doing a very gentlemanly job there. Fisher is well done. Steve there is just letting guys by there, because I think that he's just wandering up the order, isn't he? Nigel's left the session there, so hopefully Nigel will come back in soon, because he's in 7th position now. He needs to get back in the car to score any points, don't he? And Steve now comes up, and he's in 5th position. Steve, I think Steve is doing a cracking job out there at the moment. He really is. He's cool as a cucumber, and fantastic stuff indeed. Then Fisher is in the pits. He's on the soft tires then, so he should get fastest up. I have no doubt about that. Brandon's all over the back of Sam in the battle for 8th and 9th position. Sam is now up to 8th position then. So Sam then is doing a cracking job. He can get his first points of the season for the McLaren team. And of course, Nigel's back in the session now then. Nigel is back in and ready to go then. Really incredible stuff. Twan there still with us, of course, the fan favourite of the channel. He is just a fair play to Fisher there. Look, brothers, go this way and that way, and Sam is not budging. Yeah, you're saying fair play to Fisher there for going into the wall instead of into the back of his rival. So yeah, very well done there. I think it was Jonathan that was in front. So very nicely done there from Fisher, because he could have ploughed into Jonathan, then ploughed into Steve, and that would have ruined Jonathan's race as well. I have no doubt about that. Jonathan is now all over the back of his team. He wants to get in the Alfa Romeo team. Echo and Jonathan is a very strong team lineup, isn't it? And Echo is I wonder if Echo just let him by there, because Jonathan, that seemed to be a bit too easy there from the Alpha team. Yeah, so Jonathan is now on the podium. He is 6 seconds away from Farf. He's done 19 laps. He's in puncture territory, I feel, for those hot medium tires, but he's going for it. Nigel's left the session again now, so Nigel's got some issues, I think. Hopefully he'll come back in and out now, but yeah, Nigel could potentially be costed points here. Oh, Brandon there getting a lot of understeer and almost going into Anthony Nose there. Yellow flag in 3 as yellow flag in 3. What's going on in 3? And hopefully nothing too severe, because I can't keep up with these guys. Granty is now coming up to the back end. The Granty has somehow moved himself back up to 6. I'd say that he's doing a on board Nigel then. It's good, because Nigel's dropped down to 9th then, so it's going alright, isn't it, for the former past champions at the moment they're out there, isn't it? Nigel down to 9th, he keeps dropping in that session. Granty, I'd say, is I think that's very well damage limitation there from the Williams driver, isn't it? Because he was out of the points, wasn't he, at one stage? And here in Monaco, I think he's done a cracking job there as well. Laggy has just got by Nigel. Nigel can't get back in his car. I hope he can get back in soon. On board then with Brandon, but we're going to stick with this battle here between Steve and Granty. Steve there is had an incredible battle, hasn't he? And now then, as you can see, Granty is going to stick up the inside. He is up the inside to Sandoval. He is through and up into 6th position, 5th position. I said Brandon is up into 7th position. Sam has dropped down to 8th position, and he is still on course for an incredible result here today. I think this might be Sam's best result of his career there. Of course, so Sam doing a fantastic job at the moment. Can he keep going with? He's got about 7-8 laps to go here in the Monaco Grand Prix. He's doing absolutely outstanding stuff, isn't he, Sam? He's done an incredible qualifying lap as well. And Nigel and Fisher, this is getting very hairy and scary. Oh no, Laggy's in the wall. Fisher's in the wall. Fisher is out. It was getting too close for call. Fisher is out of the race. What an appalling way to end the Monaco Grand Prix for Fisher, the man who was probably robbed of pole position possibly, and now he is out of this Monaco Grand Prix. We're down to 10 cars here, down to 10 here, and I feel that it's just been a pretty bad day for Fisher, hasn't it? What a shame. Granty is now all over the back of Echo. Echo's done 20 laps on those hard tires, and I think his defending today has been absolutely second to none. He's been incredible, Echo is out there. And he's done a very good job. He's done a cracking job, hasn't he, Echo has? And now he's going to have to defend again against Granty. Granty's going on the outside. Echo is staying on the inside. And he's still got the position then.
Emerson's now got a 15-second lead at the moment. It wasn't like that earlier on, was it? It wasn't like that earlier, was it? It really wasn't. It was a close run affair between himself and Fisher. Fisher came in the pit. I'm not sure if he damaged the car or whatnot, but it just didn't go well at all, did it? It didn't go well at all for Fisher in the second part of the race, which really was a shame, really. The first part of the race was fantastic, it really was. Safety car came out, it played into the lag. He's got a free 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane, but he's in the points, and that's the main thing. Nigel is now bearing down on Sam. Sam has got a 2-second deficit between himself and Nigel, so this is going to get very squeaky bum time for Sam, isn't it? In his battle for 8th and 9th. And going up the inside, Grant here, he's up the inside of Echo. He is through. New F1 is out of this race. What is going on? He's a miracle. New F1 is retired from the race. We're down to 9. We're down to 9. It's like Monaco 96 all over again. Echo and Grant is up in the 4th position. He just got by Echo. He forced his way through. Now Steve's coming onto the back of as well. New Brandon is going to get a point, I think, so he will get a point. If Laggy passes him, he will get a point. If he don't, he get 2. Wow, so Sam is back up to 7th position. Nigel is in 8th position, but Nigel's bearing down on Sam as well. Sam has got another car behind him, and he's going to have to defend once again. Jonathan is all over the back of Farf as well. There it is, Jonathan and Farf battling down into Mirabel then. What an incredible race this has been then. That 34 out of 39. Everson is going for his record 6th win of his career. Then that will equal Nigel. That will equal Nigel's tally of a 6 win. So yeah, that is an absolutely incredible feat there for Emerson. Brilliant stuff. Nigel again, much more purchase out of the center ball. Sam and Nigel. Oh no, they've created contact, and Nigel somehow keeps out of the wall there. I'd say he was a brave man to go side by side up there. And well, you're going to say that was a very brave man too, indeed, from Nigel there. But yeah, that wouldn't have worked out. Can Sam hold on for 5 more laps? Then again, whatever happens there for new F1 session there, but he will get a point there for the Renault team. But yeah, Renault, who's got a very strong team, aren't they, with Twang and Dan, and then today with Brandon as well. It's just not going well for the Renault team at the moment, is it? So I think that it's been a bit of a miserable start there for Renault and the constructors in the first 3 races this season. But I got to say that Monaco is probably one race to definitely get away. But I think Sam will be loving the Monaco Grand Prix at the moment. Jonathan might be loving it as well, because he's had a fantastic race, hasn't he? And he's trying to go on the inside, coming down to Casino Square. He's damaged the car. He has damaged the car. I think Favre's got a bit of damage as well as they come into Mirabeau. And oh dear. Oh my goodness, those cars are looking second-hand at the moment. You might have to get them for half price. Well, Favre's car's looking. Oh look, they've got nowhere plates at all on those cars. And wow. Oh dear. I got to say that I think that the end plates need to go off completely out of the F1 cars, don't they? And definitely make them harder to drive, won't they? It's these cars are going to be very much. It's going to be like a shopping trolley, aren't they? And it's like I've been trying to steer them from the back and the front then. As an incredible thing. Twang just said that's not deserved for Fisher. Feel sorry for you. Yeah, I think the Fisher's race really that was such a shame how it ended there. Back on board there with Jonathan there. They have got Granty, who is not to go far away now. As Van Doom has left the session there, making his debut. A bit of it's been an okay debut for Van Doom, but unfortunately no points was given for the man who was stepping in the Williams today. As we're on board there with Jonathan there, who's this has been incredible, hasn't it? And then Nigel's dropped back to a second behind at Sam at the moment. Sam at the moment has got... That is the 2 battles we're interested in the moment. And not forgetting... Oh, look at Jonathan! Oh, no way! He was going on the... I thought he was going to go up there again. They haven't got many... They've literally got no front wing left under the end plates. They're gone completely. As they come down... Oh, he's going into Mirabel down. As they drop down there, there's a bit of a bump there. That's why they always... that's why they have a funny race like, don't they, go down there? Granty is 2.3 seconds back at the moment. And Nigel's now started to really put the pressure on Sam as well in the battle for 7th and 8th position. Sam's best career finish as it stands at the moment. Emerson is almost half a minute back from Farf has done 24 laps on the medium tyre, and that's why Farf is looking pretty second hand. Nigel goes on the inside. Nigel and Farf is, I don't know what I'm saying, he's got a 5-second penalty. He has kept second position, albeit by using all the track and then some. And as you can see, Jonathan has got a lot of understeer, and I think Ryan is saying Granty for podium, he reckons. Wow, I've got to say that's been a cracking drive for Granty, hasn't it? Wow, who's going to be driver today? That's a good question, isn't it? I must say it's a very tough very tough ass. Jonathan's done a cracking job, hasn't he? Farford's done a good job. Emerson has been fearless as well. Fisher, unfortunately, just fell apart in the second half. Second race. I got to say, Steve has been impressive as well, and Sam. And so there's a lot of drivers that you could definitely say for driver of the day as they come into the twilight stages of this Grand Prix. Farford's not giving an inch. He gained a 5 second, but he gave a 5 second penalty there for good straight line. The C-front chicane going down the Mirabo. These cars definitely second up. There's Granty. If depending on penalties, Granty could potentially get on the podium without even passing these guys. Look at how slow they're going through the nose hairpin there. We just seen a flash of a Haas of Steve there in the 6th position. Echo is in 5th position there. This is going. We might have another trolley train on our hands here as they come through the tunnel once again. Then Emerson is almost half a minute in front. I think he's about to finish lap 32nd then as they come down into the C-front chicane once again. Then Brandon has said that he had literally no practice there, but I think he'd done a cracking job actually, Brandon. He was battling all the way through, wasn't he, in the midfield. He was as high as 6 at one stage, I think, but did a cracking job. Jonathan's got 3 second penalty. This is good playing to the look at Granty. I can't believe this man. This man's on a different planet at the moment, isn't he? He has done an incredible job in the first 3 races. He was on the back foot today, but he's still in full position. Fisher has left possession there. What a shame for Fisher. I think that Fisher probably I think Fisher probably definitely deserve more in that race, and I think a lot of the other drivers did as well. They come out of Sander Vaught once again, and they power up the hill. Then 32 seconds of gap at the moment then between Emerson and Farford, because Farford's got 26 out medium tyres, and he has literally got no front wing at all. He is driving with no end plates around there. Same with Jonathan as well. Jonathan's got much younger medium tyres then as they come through at Mirabeau again. Then look at that dropping down to the lows there. Granty got to be careful there, but lots of damages at Carter. 3.7 seconds of gap between Echo and Granty, and it's because these guys are going quite slow at the moment because of the wing damage, and I think Echo is now starting to become interesting as well. Nigel's in the pits then, so Nigel's coming to the pits. That's giving Sam a reprieve and a potentially a major haul of points then for the McLaren team, and Farford's almost parking on the exit there. There's his Schoffer's teammate in the background there of Echo. They fly through to back and out to back and coming into the swimming pool section. They can't go as fast as they want to do because they got no turn on the cards anymore, and Emerson is on the follow up. Jonathan gives her a little push there, another push as well. Grant there is just sitting there, sitting there hoping to keep it clean so he can get on the podium. That'll be Granty's third podium in 3 races, and now it's Farford just defending going into turn 1. Nigel comes out actually in front of Laggy, and he's going to get some. Jonathan is waving this way and that way. Farf will not let him by, so Farf has the track advantage. 37.5 seconds. That's probably one of the biggest winning totals in ALR history from Emerson. I know that Emerson, no, it's about to make a drive on the inside. He's past Farf. He moves up into second position. Laggy is a. Nigel has gone off the track. Nigel's gone off the track there. Emerson wins the Monaco Grand Prix. His 6th win in ALR. He is now tied the total with Nigel with 6 wins. Record breaking for Emerson today. Fantastic stuff. Jonathan is in second position at the moment, but the question is now it'll be all about the penalties and things like that. Laggy's got 3 second penalty. Laggy finishes in 9th position in the end. Nigel finishes 8th in the end. So Sam is going to be guaranteed 7th position. An incredible race for Sam. He had an incredible qualified 11th with an incredible lap, and now he's going to get 7th position. Granty is battling away. Jonathan comes through to finish in 2nd on track. What about on the standards? It is Granty finishes 2nd, Jonathan 3rd, Echo in 4th, Farf in 5th, Steve in 4th, Echo in 5th, Farf in 6th position. That is your top 6 of the Monaco Grand Prix. Nigel gets 4 points, Laggy gets 2 points, and new F1 Brandon gets a point as well. Even though he didn't finish, he did classify in the top 10. Wow, that is incredible stuff. And now Sam coming through, and he is going to claim his best result of his ALR career. Brilliant stuff from Sam. But Emerson, 6 wins in ALR, an incredible achievement there, and it equaled it with Nigel, who last won this race in season 2. As a Twan there saying, almost had it, new F1, unlucky. Nathan saying, what a dominant win. Well done, Emerson. Incredible stuff from Emerson. And Twan will say you'll have to keep that seat for one more race if you want. So I think Brandon did a good race. Considering the fact you need to practice around here, don't you? I must take a deep breath. What an incredible race from What an incredible race there from Grant. He was on the back foot. He still finished second there. God, they will keep this man down. That's 3 podiums in 3 races there for Granty. But Emerson there is the man of the day. That's his second podium this season there. I think it's all about it's going to be all about the consistency this season as well. Look at all those penalties as well. Emerson, who got his second pole position of his career in the end, and he won this Monaco Grand Prix. Granty from a 4th on the grid, but he had 4 pit stops to finish second. Jonathan finished third in the end from 10th to 3rd. Cracking stuff. Steve in 4th position. Echo in 5th. Farf in 6th. Sam 7th position. Great stuff. 8th position Nigel. Laggy in 9th position. And those are the final. That was the only classified runners. Brandon gets the final point in 7th position. Fisher, what could have been an incredible start, incredible first half of the race, was absolutely brilliant stuff. Retired though. So did Van Doom, Stringy, Grillsy, Toon, Lights, Murphy, Gunnar, and Fern Farshaw all retired from this incredible Monaco Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then. And I think the next race, where are we in the next race? Oh, we're going to historic Belgium for round 4. Remember, it's a random calendar for season 3, isn't it? So yeah, it's definitely to shake things up, isn't it? And that definitely did shook things up indeed. And bear with me a minute, guys, as I need to get the interviewees in. No, hopefully they would want to talk to me. They probably don't. I don't blame them. I mean, I don't want to talk to myself, to be honest. But yeah, that kind of stuff happens. And so if I just get Emerson in here and just have a quick chat with our race winner as well. Also, hopefully have a chat with Granty. And I think Jonathan as well finished 3rd, didn't he? I think. So I got to say, I think he finished 3rd. It was an incredible race there, wasn't it? Was I just quickly get my bearings? And we should go from there. Yeah, so go to of course tomorrow night is the historic Belgian Grand Prix. No, that's next Sunday. So next Sunday is the historic Belgian Grand Prix. But before we even get to that, we need to think about Silver tomorrow night, because Silver is going to be fantastic, isn't it? They got a lot to live up to in terms of what happened tonight. Blimey. So Emerson, I gotta say, record breaking tonight. Well, not record joining tonight, as you and now Nigel are 6 wins apiece. Two of the most successful drivers in ALR history. Fantastic. But no, I think it was actually the biggest winning margin in ALR history. Gotta say, incredible race.
I mean, yeah. I think Fisher probably should have won it if he was just a bit more consistent and didn't mess up after his bits, because he was so much faster than me. But I mean, you just got to be consistent around Monaco, and I just kept them behind me. It was all about track position. I just followed what he did, and then obviously I managed to stay ahead.
Indeed. I think that what you said, by the sounds of it, then you was a bit concerned about Fisher, then, because especially before that first safety car came, it was about 8 seconds. So up until then, were you concerned about Fisher?
A little bit, but obviously because he had the 5-place grid penalty, I thought he probably wouldn't have been an issue. But yeah. Before the safety car came, I think it was about 10 seconds as he got onto 2nd place, and then it was coming down to like 8.8. I was like, oh, hang on a second, he's relatively quick here. I didn't know whether to just go to the end, or I was either going to copy what he was going to do or just do the complete opposite. I was 50-50, and then as soon as he came in, I didn't know if he had wing damage or what was the reason he came in, but I just thought I've got to cover him off and do the exact same, and then obviously don't know what happened to him after that, but he didn't end up finishing.
Absolutely splendid stuff. I got to say that Granty I thought was on a bit of a poor day really today, but he still finished 2nd in the end. But do you reckon you could beat this man over the course of the season?
I mean, it's a marathon, not a sprint, isn't it? So 0.5 points, I'm trying to reel him in. So I've got a few back today. I mean, I thought it was going to be more because he said he wasn't very keen around Monaco, and obviously he was down to like 10th at some point, lost his front wing, because we were in a chat together talking, and then I was I'm gonna get like at least like a solid like 20 points back here, but obviously it was only like 7 in the end, but 7's better than nothing at the end of the day, I guess. Absolutely
fantastic stuff, and as I said, a record equaling day today, so 6 wins for you in the ALR League. That is incredible stuff, and this time in season 2 you wasn't even racing yet, so fantastic stuff, Emerson, well done. Brilliant today. Ooh.
Let's...
Sorry.
That's all right. Oh gosh, do you guys listen to that all the way through the race? Gosh. Anyway, I think Grant is Grant in the party. I must admit, I've been looking down to see what's been occurring. Granty, wow. I gotta say, I thought he was on the back foot today, and I think it was just over half distance. I wasn't really expecting you to score any points, but not only did you score points, you got in the top. You got in the top two. Can anyone keep you down at the moment? It was an incredible drive.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was fantastic. I was really chuffed with where I finished in the end because I had 4 stops. The third stop, the geezers didn't change my wing, so I had to go in again, and then out of the softs, and then I went on to the mediums to the end, and it was quite unfortunate on some of the drivers, like it wasn't as consistent, and I felt really good on the mediums, and I had a few guys in the chat with me keeping an eye on the penalties, so when Jonathan did get a penalty in the end, I was just staying behind him, and obviously they were losing their wings left, right and centre, so yeah, I just stayed behind them and yeah, just hope for the best, and I'm absolutely chuffed with that result. I can't believe it, I really can't.
So that's why he went in twice then. Because I thought it was a strategy call then, because I was a bit confused halfway through. I was like, oh, he's got it again. But yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I was, well, at the start, I went on to the soft tyres because obviously they're the quicker ones, and I thought if I get a good start, yeah, I might have been able to make a couple of positions, but in the end, I just went at the back of half and down my wing straight away. So yeah, I had Fish up behind me. I knew he was quicker. So I went into the pits and let him carry on with his race, and yeah, just I don't know if it worked for me today or not, but yeah, somehow I got second, and yeah, again, just really chuffed with the result. Fantastic.
Brilliant stuff. 3 for 3 for podiums now. Absolutely outstanding start of the season. But I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be fantastic between you and Emerson, and hopefully Fisher, if consistency comes his way. He's been a bit unlucky in the opening rounds there. But yeah, are you concerned about any? Are you concerned about any other drivers in particular over the course of the season?
Well, I mean, you know, it's like if Jonathan gets pole and he can stick out to his consistency on his race pace, I think he'll definitely still get, you know what I mean, like first, second, and that. But his penalties like let him down a bit, and you know, if he didn't get as many penalties, he might be up there with us as well. So. Yeah, you know, as like in Russia, he was like third battling with Emerson, and in the end he finished 7th. So I suppose penalties does like matter on the day because you know points can be an issue. So yeah, no, Fisher, mate, like obviously I've raced with him in other leagues, and I know he's quicker. So yeah, I'm looking out for him, and obviously Emerson as well. So yeah. Taking it race by race.
Oh, excellent stuff. That old nugget.
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll come to the final. I think, Jonathan, you did finish on the podium, didn't you? I've got to say, I can't remember what absolutely happened at the end there. I got to say, that was an incredible drive from 10th on the grid, where the qualifying didn't really go your way at all. I mean, it must admit it was hammering down, really. But the race definitely went your way as well. Talk us through your strategy, because you went for a very long first stint. I think you was in the late lap 20s, weren't you, before you came in the pits? So good stuff on hard tyres.
Yeah, lap 28 I came into the pits. I was aiming actually to come in maybe lap 32, but as Fisher was getting held up by another driver, I decided to come in and try and get the undercut. Is it undercut? Overcut? Whichever one it is, anyway. But yeah, yeah, I had a great race. It was up until lap 35. I got the penalty, which I was really annoyed with because I was maintaining consistency. I'm still ironing out consistency with my race pace as well. My quali pace is there, but it's just my race pace, and I'm improving that as the more I keep practicing, the more I'm going to improve. And yeah, congratulations to Emerson, great win, well done, mate, and you as well, Granty.
Cheers, mate.
Last time I checked, you were in 14th, and then next minute you were 8 behind me. I was like, how the hell has he got there? But anyway, congratulations, mate. And
yeah, thanks, mate, Andrew.
But I got a little bit annoyed with another driver. I couldn't get past him. I just felt we were being a bit evasive, but it is what it is. And
if I didn't get that penalty, I would have got second. I mean, I'm not taking it away from you, Granny, you're a great driver, but I would have got second. But I'm happy with third, and roll on to Spa and hopefully keep up the consistency.
Definitely, absolutely brilliant stuff, guys. All three of you deserve that penalty, that podium today. Penalty seems to be the word of the day, doesn't it? But yeah, all you guys deserve the podium today. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Laggy also echoed the race in Belgium, which is coming up in a week's time. Tomorrow night is silver though, and those guys have got to they'll be put through the ringer as well. I think these guys have had enough punishment for one night. It's their turn, isn't it? We'll join us tomorrow night 7:30 for the Monaco Grand Prix. Next Sunday we're back in Belgium. Beautiful track. I love it. But for now, it's goodbye.